What's happening, everybody? The GRG podcast is doing it live, man. We are in full effect. We took last week off. It seemed like some of us has took off this week as well. That's okay because, I mean, look, it's the holidays. People out here late, Christmas shopping. You know what I'm saying? My boy, the Welsh Gamer, man, he sit there and he was hitting me up and he was telling me, I'm going to take a nap. And I'm gonna go to sleep right now. I got my alarm clock set, and he was like, he says, but I have to get up at like 2:30 a.m. And you know what I'm saying, on Saturday. I'm like, it is all good. And so like, maybe he hit that snooze button maybe one too many times. But regardless of the fact, if he pops in later, he pops in later. If not, then you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get this party rocking. Regardless, this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in here is capable. So I mean, hell, and other than that, I'm used to doing, you know what I'm saying, Dev and the Gamer. So, you know what I'm saying? And big shout out to the Dev and the Gamer. No doubt, man. The biggest views that we've ever had since me and Don has done that show, man. That's crazy. We almost close to 3,000 on that one. That was great. So nice. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support for that. But anyway, man, let's get to it, man. Let's go to the panel and go to our brothers in crime right now. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on with you, Bloody Knuckles?
Hey, what's good with you, Mega? You know what it is. I'm always good here. I'm always having fun. And man, I gotta say, having last week off was nice and all, but there's been so much good stuff that's been coming out news-wise for the past 2 weeks. And I want to talk about that Híjole Chile, man.
Say that again.
Híjole Chile.
Oh snap! I don't know, Lemon. You supposed to be on. You supposed to know a little bit of that language, I suppose. Let me know what the hell did he just say? What's up? Introduce yourself, man.
I don't know what he's saying. Only half of me Puerto Rican.
You know
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I grew up with my father. My mom's just a Spanish one. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay. You got exposed
a little bit.
Think of híjole like it's one of those. It's the Spanish word for like that. Like, oh damn, that like real shit.
Oh, I got you.
And of course, you know what Chile means, so it means that hot fire.
Yeah, I knew the chili, but I was
that's
like,
the only part me and K Mega knew.
I was like, well, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully this ain't nothing crazy on here, you know, or whatever. Oh, look who it is. Look who it is. He woke up. He got up in here, man. No doubt.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
No doubt. Anyway, so go ahead and say what's up to everybody. Lemon got the new avatar, looking fresh and clean.
Yo, man. Yo, I was so excited to get that, man. 2 guns up for my Wanaweights out there, and for everybody who tuned into that Twitter, man. I had a whole brand new video / production introduction. You already know. Listen, I'm very excited. You know what I'm saying? I love my icon, but I'm glad it's on my shirt. Shout out to my man, J-Dubs, Xbox Gamer Picks. If you want the ill goddamn situation with a gamer pick, that man got you covered. He is so professional. Yo, he does all our stuff. Yo, it's good. And I'm excited, man. But I do have to admit one thing right now.
What's up?
That goddamn Smash Brothers fighting game got my soul.
Yeah,
man. Yo, and I'm not everybody right now.
And I'm not a Smash Brothers dude. I never liked it from N64 because I couldn't understand the fighting system. I didn't understand how to win. It's got my soul, man. That's how I love being a gamer. No matter what platform, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Facts.
And now going back, hey man, I was just talking about you, Wells. What's up with you, bro? Man, do you get to sleep out your eyes?
Oh man, Christ alive! I'm so sorry for my late appearance, my brother.
Right. Hey man, hey, look at it as you know what I'm saying, coming in late with style. That's what you did, man. That's exactly what you did.
Always. I mean, I give style a new fucking meaning, man. You know, it's like everyone looks to me and thinks, "Oh, Welsh man, I want to wear him around my neck. He's stylish, bro."
No doubt. Hey,
can I say that when he says stylish, his accent just adds extra style to that, so he can get away with it?
Oh, absolutely.
No doubt. He can get away with it. No doubt about it. Hey, man, tell us what time it is out there, man.
It is, to be specific, 2:48 a.m.
Tell you, man, that man's a trooper. That's why I was like, if you hit the snooze button and turned over, ain't nobody would have been mad at you, man. That's some true dedication, man. Much love for you to come on, man. Much love for you to come on, man. Definitely.
Oh man, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And Triple Cup just hit us up and saying that he was on his way. He was out there Christmas shopping out there in the spot, you know what I'm saying, been around the corner. So yeah, so we'll get Triple Cup in here. So anyway, man, Welsh, let everybody know where they can find you at, things like that. I know we'll do that at the end, but man, you know, if people that never heard of you or seen you or things like that, you know what I'm saying, there are people to get more familiar with you, brother.
Yeah, no worries, man. Welsh Gamer at the Welsh Gamer 93, one word. If you want to find me and follow me on Twitter, the Welsh Gamer, 3 words on YouTube. And little intro about me. I've been gaming. I'm 25 years of age. I've been gaming pretty much my whole life. Started as like a young curious soul who used to just watch my older brother playing, and then eventually I got my own console and just never really looked back. And that's just like how the journey started. My passion has only grown and grown and grown, and here we are today, 25 years later, and I still love it. And in terms of like currently with like the YouTube scene and everything, I do a weekly podcast with my good friend Mr. Boomstick XL called the Xbox Factor. That's every Thursday at 4 p.m. GMT. So please tune into that if you haven't already. And yeah, man, Mr. Mega, I'm just excited to be here, dude. I'm loving the podcast and see at the minute. YouTube, the community, the news has been fire. Topics have been heavy. I'm just buzzing, man. And it's Christmas. Who can't be happy around Christmas? Merry Christmas to everyone.
I know, indeed. Everybody is,
Happy holidays to everyone.
Happy holidays to everybody, man. I hope everybody eats hearty, gets gifts that they want, and just relax. Don't have to grind out, you know what I'm saying, and work. Just spend time with the fam or to yourself and just do what you want to. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, man, at the end of the day. But anyway, let's get on to these topics, man. And right off the bat, we're going to go on to something a little serious. And it's not, you know, serious to the point of where I've gone before in previous episodes, but more of just the seriousness about the gaming community. It was something that last week that I did, that Xbot did, and he talked about it in one retrospect when it was talking about the fanboys in the gaming community. But you know, I want to go a little bit deeper with that and just go off of just crazy things that we're hearing. Like, okay, so I know that a lot of you guys have heard about how Battlefield 5 is the rumors has been that they haven't sold well because they haven't really been leaking out numbers. The outrage was over the trailer when they were saying that it didn't depict World War II properly, and so it seems like the game is suffering because of that. Also, the situation with this whole Spider-Man thing. You know what I'm saying? As successful as Spider-Man has been, seemed like there was death threats thrown at Insomniac. They were going all out, all over a particular suit that was not in the game. Now, on top of all that, of course, the whole fanboyism, just people just coming out and saying just crazy rhetoric, all this type of stuff, like just got away from Twitter, where some guy just went off saying the most dumbest shit when it came to you know what I'm saying, at Game Pass, and how Game Pass is going to go to the PlayStation and Xbox is dead and all this. I just want to I'm going straight to the guest. Now, what do you think about this? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is the whole situation right now? Has it gotten to the point to where that the gaming the gaming devs and gaming just the big heads from gaming may not need to be listening to the hardcore so much, or is there anything that can be done about this?
I'm assuming you wanted me to go first, yeah?
Yeah. So yes, yeah.
Yeah, no drama. Well, do you know what, man? It's an unprecedented level of fanaticalism. If there's bloody craziness. I know that those words, you know, that they are.
I think the word you're looking for, Welsh, is fanaticism.
Fanaticism. There we are. That's beautiful. Thank you. But like it's unprecedented, and I think one of the main issues here, K-Mega, and I've spoken about this before in length, is is we live in an age now where social media and mobile phones and iPads and being connected on the go is so much more efficient and easy now, that the ability to tag your favorite or most loved developer and say whatever you damn well please is so much easier now than ever before. So you've got, but it's not always as beautiful and as amazing as that, because you've got these toxic idiots who think that it's okay to throw death threats to the community manager of Insomniac because a digital suit is missing from the game. Like, and these people come in droves, and they're going on their Twitter accounts, either under fake accounts or whatever, at Insomniac Games. Yo, motherfucker, I'm going to come to your house and burn you to the ground, you sick fuck, because you haven't bloody put Sam Raimi's Spider-Man suit in my game. What the hell do you... Like, honestly, man, I come from a simple upbringing with a simple thing in mind, like treat those how you want to be treated. And when I look at the social network and the nuts, these crazy enthusiasts who feel it's right to do these things, I don't have an answer for it. It's incomprehensible how people can think it's okay. All I will say is I'm all for gamers, myself and everyone here and anyone in the chat included, having a voice and voicing their opinion, and in the same turn, what I just said about social media and connectivity being so efficient, it's also a very good thing, because for level-headed people like you and me, it's an amazing opportunity to be able to tag Phil or tag this guy or that guy and be like, oh, this is a good idea, that's a good idea, and you just don't know what you're saying could be listened to and heard and turned into something quite productive. But it just blows my mind how unmoderated this is. Like, it just seems there's no moderator of life. These people are getting away with this shit left and right, and to throw death threats around like
Andy,
honestly, I'm probably going off on some random tangent that seems to be going nowhere. But
no, I mean, you make it perfect sense. No, go ahead. I mean, I think I totally agree. My next question to you was that, like, do you think that the industry is going to get to a point to where they're going to stop listening to gamers, like the other community, the community that's just want to give their 2 cents but don't go off the fringe? Do you think that that's going to eventually happen because of the fringe that keeps making these death threats or keeps saying these crazy things?
Yeah, I think inevitably one or two things are going to happen. I think, and it'll only be because of these idiots that they'll have themselves to thank. But I think one or two things will happen. Either these developers in question will completely just hit the mute button, pull themselves away completely, and it'll just be like we've gone back in time 20 years where you don't hear or see anything from them until like E3 or whatever. Or they'll just have, just have thick skin and just completely ignore all this crap and only interact with the level-headed people. So I think, in answer to your question, I'm hoping that it just doesn't affect anything really. I hope that they just laugh it off and they're just like, oh, these fucking idiots, and just carry on with their day-to-day life and don't let it affect them at all.
All right, cool. What about you, 108? What is your whole thought about this?
Well, I have said in many episodes that you got to ignore the toxic people, man. You can't let them.
But they're the loudest voice, though.
They're the only voice at some point in something.
Yeah, for the majority, yeah.
But as a developer, they got to weed that out themselves. They put themselves out there. They know it's uncensored. They know it's 1,000 apps to be reached on these different social media situations. They can't take it personal, because they, just like me and you are grown men, they're grown people too, paying bills and making games and, doing grown people things. There's always been weirdos out there. And they just got to turn their ear to it, man, because it's negative. And we say it all the time. It's like on Facebook when somebody attack our families or do crazy shit. We like, God damn, we talking about video games. What the hell that got to do with it? It's the same situation. And we're small. You know what I'm saying? So they have a bigger audience for more nonsense. I feel for them sometimes, but like I said, they gotta have tough skin. You want to be in tune with the gamer, you got to be in tune with all gamers. You can't say, well, we can't be in tune with the knuckleheads or the weirdos. You know, they just block them. I'm a Dikembe Mutombo of social media. You act crazy, I block you. I don't play no games. You'll never say nothing on my channel again. You got to make 1,000 soccer accounts. So they got to do the same thing. If you want to be in tune with the game and get the community's voice, they got to weed out or hire a department like some of these companies have, a whole department dedicated to responding to chats, reading people comments, and keep it pushing. I think it's better that we have access to these developers. We don't need to see them at E3, Gamescom, Tokyo Game Show. We need to see them. We don't need to just see them at my IGN live show. We need this because we are the voice of we are the community. The gamers are the community. So, but it's like running for the president. Everybody ain't gonna agree with you. You gotta learn how to take it. So you just gotta ignore it, man, and keep it pushing.
Well said, man. Agree.
All right. Okay. Well, what about you, Bloody? I know that, like, when you look at it from one retrospective, like, look, I mean, it's with the whole situation with gaming is a lot different than it is with like music or any other type of entertainment, because they got fans and they'll look and see some of their tweets or whatever, like, for the NBA players, or just say just athletics and movies and all that other stuff. But with gaming, it's a lot different, because they are talking to people that are most likely are going to buy their product. So they want to show good faith and goodwill. But you know what I'm saying? How can they listen to certain people when all they want is things to be their way? And if not, then it's just like with the whole Spider-Man situation. They worked on this suit forever. They already had it, but these people were giving death threats because the suit wasn't already there. Give me an explanation of all this, Knuckles.
Honestly, there is no explanation, because with any community, there's always going to be the extremists and the ones who take it to another level. These are the fans that give the name fans a bad name, because these are the real fanatics, the ones who take fanaticism to an extreme. They're the loud minority, and they're the ones that people pay the most attention to, because they're the ones speaking up the most. The issue is that it's time for the majority, the ones who are actually happy, to say something. We stop being quiet. If you find something enjoyable, say something, because the more people that say nothing but the bad shit, and that's the most prominent, that's what's going to be focused on. Unfortunately, as well, at the same time, is that the devs don't deserve this, but on a platform on social media, it is unmoderated to an extreme extent, especially a place like Twitter, especially a place like Facebook or Reddit and things like that, where they can only do so much. Anyone can make as many accounts as they want to, and it's a sad fact of life. The fact is, they have to have the ability to moderate themselves. If you look at the interaction, especially between Insomniac and the dude who was going to like the utmost extreme about all this shit and going back about the Sam Raimi things, saying, they held themselves in a relatively straightforward light. Yeah, you could see where the frustration was starting to kick in for the people who run the social media, because the thing that people forget is that there is a group of people that work these social media accounts, and I know this for a fact because I worked for a company that did that. I won't go into details because I cannot say that legally, but this isn't just one person, it's multiple people, and they have to watch how they say things and how it comes off. But at the same time, they were getting annoyed, and it shows with the way that they said it. They say, hey, we can listen. It doesn't mean we have to do what you say. And there's many other reasons they can have that response, because maybe legally, because they couldn't say anything legally about including that suit, that it was going to be a surprise, because there may have been legal issues with the acquisitions for the rights and being able to use it, and all other stuff that we don't know. We don't know the context and the extent of that aspect. The fact is that people who go to the extremes of death threats and constantly pestering and saying that a developer is bullshit and that their talent and that all this, just because they don't include one small thing. People forget that back in the day there was like 200 suits in games that they didn't have to pay for, and that was just included in the game. Now they do it in packs or as part of content updates as a surprise or anything for things with the way that it is now. That's not like, hey, you know, the game's real simple to make and we could just make all these multiple color swap palettes and, you know, slightly different variations. No, these are full detailed suits. Like, look at half the suits that are in that game. Those models take time to make and get right. But the fact is, people just go to these stupid extreme lengths that it's just like, chill the hell out. And these are supposed to be the fans that praise and love this company, right? And that, especially with the fact that it's a Sony exclusive. And I'm not calling out any Sony fans or anything like that, because there's good fans and then there's the really annoying ones.
Yeah, because these are some of the Xbox fans. We'll get into it here a little bit later, but there's Xbox fans, and you know what I'm saying. No, I don't
go to the extreme, and then there's you don't. But it's the fact of what honestly goes through these people's mind to say, yeah, if you don't put in this one thing from this one movie that I absolutely love that is based on this entire, you know, intellectual property from almost a decade ago, I'm gonna walk to your building and shoot everyone up. Like, honestly, what the fuck is going through your mind to say something like that?
Yeah,
those are the sick
that's
people.
That's not a joke nowadays.
Right? No,
it is.
It's not even. Yeah.
Oh, go on, K-Mega. Sorry.
No. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mate, all I was going to say is I'm completely backing up what Bloody Knuckles is saying. And the sad thing is, what these people, whether they be the extremists that throw death threats or the nice guy who's just given some constructive criticism, bottom line, like, what you say is not going to have much of an effect on the vision of a developer. Like, if they've got a certain thing in mind, what they want to do with their game, or like Bloody Knuckles said, maybe they had a certain thing in place, but they got to wait for certain things to come in place. Like, maybe they got to contact certain people and be like, is it okay for us to have this suit in our game? Are we not going to get sued at the fucking Jaxie for having Sam Raimi's suit? There's so many implications, and these idiots just don't seem to realize that there's so much more to the industry than just what's on the screen. Like, there's so much behind the scenes, and I just think these guys don't have the slightest clue. And just well, I speak for everyone, and I agree with everyone who's spoken as well. Like, these death threats, man, it's like, when's it going to end?
Yeah, no doubt. Well, hold on. Let me get a live wire in here because he's in here. What's going on, live? What's going on with you, bro?
Not much, chilling. You know,
you coming in here, bro? You coming in here talking all soft and things, man.
That very white voice.
Yeah,
what females in here? Cut that out.
What you doing? Ain't no ladies in here.
What Barry White? I was thinking Barry Manilow.
I've been babysitting all week, so it's
You've been what? Babysitting.
Taking care of my daughter all week.
That's your job. Okay. That's your job.
That's your job. How you gonna act like that? I've been babysitting. I was like, you somebody else's kid. No, it's my kid. That ain't that ain't babysitting. That's fatherhood. Well, you about to make me call you out your name on the show. What was wrong with you? Anyway, okay, you tired. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Ivanka, she wants to be taken care of, and you know what I'm saying. And for her first Christmas, she wants to get. I hope you got a whole bunch of good, nice things. So you know what I'm saying. You don't. Okay.
Money. That's what she get.
Money. Oh, I thought you was gonna say she got diapers, Similac.
She been had all that stuff.
She diapers with Xbox symbols on them.
No more toys. She only need no more toys. Only toy she like playing with it. Like, man, listen, it's crazy, man. I gotta move controllers constantly. All she do is grab the controllers. That's all she cares about.
She's just like a daddy, man. She already ready to get to it, man. To go giving them sticks. That was how like my son was.
It's crazy, man.
No doubt. Okay, but yeah, the situation. What we was talking about was, and I didn't hear anybody bring up the point about Battlefield 5 because.
Right, I forgot that was the.
It's kind of like all a combination because Battlefield 5's, you know what I'm saying, the lack of their success is because of people going in an outrage over a trailer. Like I still read comments of people saying, "Boy, I never seen a woman in World War II with a metal hook running around saving men." That was a trailer. Now we can discuss how we think about that trailer and how that was kind of a misrepresentation of what the actual game is, but with people going out here on a fringe because of that. And then of course we were talking about the Spider-Man situation, and this with any other game out there when people just go into this chaotic frenzy. Like, what is your thoughts about this? Why is it that the industry have to keep on listening to this craziness, man?
It's madness, man. It's man. I don't know. People just get up. Gamers getting up in arms about a lot of shit nowadays. Like just the littlest shit they go ham over. You got the whole Spider-Man shit. You got the Battlefield shit. You got people upset about Anthem and they don't even know shit about Anthem yet.
No,
you just automatically assume that it's going to be like Battlefront. So I don't know, man. It's just the new day and age that we're in. It's like this whole pile on. Like if they say any kind of clustering of people having an outrage, then people just jump on the bandwagon. You know, like Fortnite is the shit right now, but let something happen where people don't like it, and then shit starts snowballing. Then they'll pile onto that shit too. Like
yeah,
I don't know. That's just the way people are. Like they have like kind of this mob mentality because, unfortunately, most people are stupid as fuck, dog.
I
mean, that's one way to put it. I guess.
That's one way to put it.
I mean,
that is the only way you can put it.
Me and my friends.
No.
Huh?
There's another way to put that. First of all, most of these people making comments, it's not that they're stupid as fuck. Some people are fanatical, straight to the point, but most of them are not knowledgeable.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They pretend to be knowledgeable, but they're not, because this is a business. And I'm gonna tell you what makes me mad about the developer. And we're gonna talk about games like Rainbow Six to PUBG. If you make a gun exactly to the stats, right? The first thing somebody do when they keep getting their ass bust from the same gun is, it's OP. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. First of all, half you bastards out there didn't even shoot no guns yet to even know what a gun actually does.
Oh, Lemon, let me make this one point, then you finish. Okay, case in point on Battlefield 5. All right, I'm a level 50, right? And I ain't played Battlefield in about two and a half weeks. Okay, I knew that they did the patch. I heard that they did the patch because of this fringe that was saying this game doesn't feel right. You died too quick. Blah 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 blah. Me and Sir X-Man and Krog and these other guys, we go up in there and we played it. We haven't played it in a while. Go in there, the game feels broken. Like I'm shooting at dudes and like they're turning into sponges. It seemed like it was COD. Like I was almost to the point to where I was like, man, I'm about to put this game up, and I was that upset because I would play like three sessions of Conquest, and I was like, what the hell did they do? And that was all because the fringe were over here going crazy, and they listen to those people because they feel like they have to do something because of all the backlash because of a trailer. Or because of the fact that some people, like you said, are ignorant and they think that women weren't in World War II, you know what I'm saying? And that they jumped in there and they made these guys do these changes and the game feels completely different. So I got to go back and try to play it again.
I got to say, this is a two-part issue that I have, especially with games that the way they've turned out the last, let's say, generation and a half. A lot of games have been copying other games. So in that becoming the trend, gamers have been conditioned to having their games feel very similar to other games. So in doing so, now that when you get a game that's like a shooter where the crouch button isn't B and the aim down sight isn't the left trigger or whatever, right? Remember in Halo, it used to be the right bumper. People freak out about it. They're like, this is unplayable. This is dog shit because they're not. Gamers these days don't know how to adjust to each game that they're playing. So when a game isn't similar to what they've already played, similar to what happened with Red Dead Redemption, people were saying the controls didn't feel right. But if you ever played GTA, you know the controls feel like a Rockstar game, right?
Right.
But people just bitch about shit that it doesn't feel like this other game that I played. So therefore, there's something wrong with it.
No,
it's just not that other game.
I just get mad when the developer listen to the minority because they're not the majority. Because the majority of people does not complain like that. And if you have a developer's vision, you can't take a weapon or a level. I could if it's like on the masses and everybody says, "Yo, this level has a glitch and you need to fix it." That's different. But when you have a vision for a weapon, a gun, a character, this OP stuff, man, is just ridiculous. The days of Rainbow Six with that GC X3 6-3, everybody said that was a go-to weapon. No, and that weapon in real life gets busy. So they supposed to dumb that weapon down because you keep getting killed by it? Come on. Yeah. What happened to counteracting and overcoming and thinking like chess and stop playing checkers?
Let me go ahead. Hold on. Let me pay the bills. All right, Sir X man, he was sitting there in the house. Yeah, I was just talking you up, bro. And he gave up and he said, I was pissed, K Mega, but grip was awesome. Yeah, now we had a great. Now that is one thing we will get into the whole Game Pass PSN situation, but or PlayStation Now situation a little bit later. But I definitely, man. Grip is on Game Pass, and Grip has a mode that I had Grip on my PC, and I only played just the racing part, and I thought the game was really cool. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't even never play the multiplayer part of it, which was they have also the races and they have a death match, and it kind of has a reminiscent feel of Twisted Metal. It's not totally, but it is super fun. We were on there playing and had a blast. So yeah, if you got Game Pass, man, check out, download Grip, and just play it with friends, man. It is really a fun game. But I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
So it's just like I want people to have a voice. But like I said, the developer, you put yourself out there, you want to hear the people, you want to hear the gaming community, they have to weed it out, the good and the bad, because it has nothing to do with gaming. It's just the industry and just anything. You got people that call Amazon and complain that if they're a Prime member and they get it in 2 days, they didn't get it 2 days and 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They just, people are different, so they have to have leather skin, suck it up, and just keep it pushing. And the worst part about it is when you see these different situations pop up, like with Battlefield. Battlefield's an awesome game. It's one of the most visually stunning games this generation. But all the negativity is getting, it's not even warranted for a trailer because you feel that there wasn't females in World War II. Let me guess. The people that's complaining was born back then. You know what's going on in World War II? Please explain this, because I'm not old enough to know what the hell happened in World War II unless I read it in a book.
Yeah, even if you were born back then, you wouldn't be a part of every faction, and
right?
So there would be no way for you to even.
Well, hold on. Let's just keep it real. Did they not complain about the black character on the cover too? There was no black soldiers.
Oh, Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had people coming to me talking. They were coming to me saying the only thing the only thing black that was in World War I was the cooks and the people that was cleaning.
Which was 100%.
You ain't never heard.
Correct.
Well, I said you never heard of the Harlem Hellfighters?
A couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, but not even the movie. There was a couple. Yeah, there was a movie of them. That was the Tuskegee Airmen though, but that was in World War II.
No, not that one. Not that one.
To be fair, everything we're talking about right now with regards even to just like the black man being in World War II just proves our point entirely.
They are knowledgeable.
Right.
Yeah, just like there's a difference between being absolutely zero IQ fucking stupid and just being straight up uneducated.
Facts.
Like, there's just a huge honestly, like there are stupid people in the world, but people can't be that fucking stupid. They're just ignorant as fuck.
I've read many comments. There was no black people in World War II.
Yeah, right. Like, what are you talking about? Well, and they were, like I said, they were talking about World War I. Of course, they had the Harlem Hellfighters. Now, then when I brought it up and I posted like pictures and information, I even made a video talking about it. Then their comments were where there weren't more black soldiers than there were white soldiers. Well, I understand that. That's true.
That. You just said there was none.
But you said there was none. That was your first argument. Then now we look at World War II and they're upset because there was women. And all you got to do, look up about the night witches. Look up about the night witches. Those chicks were some of the rawest killing machines. They were not only snipers, but they were pilots. They would fly at night and they would kill Germans. They were Russian women. They went out there and lit motherfuckers up. They were dead. The German brigade squadrons that were out there close to where those night witches were, they had to keep extra patrols, because they would come in a whole platoons. They were insane, and it wasn't only a few of them. Look them up. It was wild.
I'm gonna say this.
There was a whole bunch of women that fought World War II, but I thought this was really crazy with the whole situation with that. And also, my last point to that, and I'll let everybody else finish up on it. But let's be realistic. If you want realism, then I suppose that it should be permadeath on these shooters, because once you die, you shouldn't come back. Let's be real about that. There should be no respawn. Anyway, go ahead.
But I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this. Just remember, when y'all go to these social medias and you tweet and you text and you voice your opinion, whatever you say reflects your intelligence. Keep that in mind before you start tweeting out this madness. That's all it does. So if you go out there looking stupid, people are going to think you stupid. Just saying. Just saying.
Sure. Mega, with your permission, I got two things I want to say and then ask me on this topic.
Okay, go ahead.
One, on the back of what 108 Dragon just said, I on a personal level, I never open my mouth unless I at least have some idea on what I'm talking about. And if on the topic at hand, I don't have a clue, I'll be the first one to say, do you know what, guys? You run with this, because I've got a fucking clue what you're talking about. And I'm not gonna and I'm not about to pretend that I do know what I'm talking about. And that's the difference, I think, between, I don't know, just having well, you've got so many people out there who just we've just talked about it to the high heavens. They literally have no clue what they're talking about, and they claim they do, and it's embarrassing. So that's one thing I wanted to get out of the way. Well said, 108 Dragon. But also, on the topic of Battlefield 5, you said that when you were playing it and then people moaning about it being too easy, this, that, and the other, to die, and now they've made it all spongy and stuff. I've got to say this, on the whole topic at hand, whether it be with Spider-Man, Battlefield, COD, and just about any other game in the world, it's one thing for the gamer or the fanatics and the death threat people and all that to be on the case of these developers. But I got a question for the panel. It's another thing entirely for the developer to not have its integrity. Like, at what point will the developer be the ones to be like, yeah, but we're not going to change just for you? Like, do you know what I mean? Like Battlefield, like you said, Battlefield has had patches to cater to the people complaining, and it's like, surely to God, the guys over there making Battlefield don't want to be changing their game so drastically just to appease the fucking idiots who complain all the time. And literally, it's such a sad existence. These are people that literally just complain about everything.
I have one game in particular that just comes straight to mind when you just said that. What developer do not give two shits about what the gamers think? They're just going to push what they want to, and that's COD. I was so upset about Black Ops 4, about them not having a story, and there were other people that were on this protest. No, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to do it. And you know what they said? So what? This is our vision. This is what we want to do. We're doing it.
No,
so. Sure. And the game is selling like hotcakes. It's still up there in the top 3 of the best-selling games of 2018.
Yeah.
Well, someone mentioned Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, Rainbow Six Siege, for me, like when you look at it as an entity, is one of the more hardcore and, for lack of a better term, realistic sort of like, tactical
shooters
games you can go for. Yeah, shooters. And God, if left and right, they were just like, oh yeah, maybe we should tune this gun to make it a bit easier for the casuals. Maybe we should do this. Maybe
it ain't happening.
I know. It's like, get the fuck out of
happening.
here with that nonsense. This is a game which, make or break. Like, you either get good or fuck off. It's that simple.
Yeah. I mean, you're totally right on that.
Rainbow Six is not for the soft pawn. It's XXX, baby. Step your game up. Facts.
It's just like with like a Dark Souls. I can't dig it, man. I can't dig it. I can't. It's something about it that I just can't stand. I gave big shout outs to Luca because she's beaten, I think, all of them. I even think Mooch and them start playing it, and I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know. What would you go say, Knuckles?
No, I said I've beaten them.
Oh yeah, and so yeah, I have all the achievements from the first game back on the 360. You know, no doubt. Kudos.
Hours in grounding that was
good. Kudos.
That game is not for the casual.
Kudos. If people want to call me a casual because I can't get into it, then I'm a casual. Call me a casual all day. It's not for everybody. It's just not for everybody. But that's just the whole point that Welsh was saying, and I agree with that. Like, I mean, and I don't see people that, and I don't see, and that's the one thing. It's like, because the majority of people aren't into Dark Souls like that. Either you play it and you can't stand it and you go away from it, or you play it and play it and play it until you get to know it and like it, and then you appreciate it. Right. So the thing of it is, though, you don't see really too many people complaining like they do about the other bigger titles, which is pretty crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Because
that crowd know what they're getting themselves into. First of all, it's not a big 20 million seller. So the group that buys it know what they're getting themselves into. They're perfectly prepared. But if casuals bought that game, you would hear the same thing. But they know they're not going to buy that game because they know the demographics straight off the back. Oh, that's not for me. But when they get these other games that mix both, this is where you get to crying at. Like Rainbow Six. Yo, don't bring your ass over to Rainbow Six if you can't take headshots as headshots. Go to Call of Duty. We'll take three tap to the head to kill you. But if you play Rainbow Six, one hit a quitter. Facts.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, man. Let's get on to the next topic, and that's all talking about something that popped up today that was pretty interesting. Had my fanboy at an extreme high, and it just kind of shows where Microsoft, well, not so much Microsoft, but Xbox, and especially Killer Phil, as I call him, Phil Spencer, has been doing in the work that he's been making. He's won an award. There's been quite a few Xbox execs that's been winning awards here lately, and Phil Spencer had a picture with a particular developer from a game that was probably long lost from a lot of people unless they bought it off of backwards compatible or they already had it backwards compatible. And that was the developer of Lost Odyssey. Now, I'm not going to try to say this man's name, so let me be country. Now, Knuckles, you are all into the Japanese, the Japanese language and decor. So I'm going to let you say his name if you can say his name. Do you know how to say the developer's name?
Yeah, let me pull up the name. Yeah, it's Sakaguchi.
Okay. Sakaguchi. All right. So now Mr. Sakaguchi was there and coming into return for a in Microsoft, or Phil Spencer and Xbox, they have registered and renewed the rights to Lost Odyssey. So, which means that either say his name again, please.
Sakaguchi.
Mr. Sakaguchi.
I'm sorry, but that is an unfortunate name.
Okay, yeah, it is. It
sounds like suck on a Gucci.
Not in Japan. It's probably normal.
Yeah, but okay, but Mr. Sakaguchi, okay,
Sakaguchi.
Thank you. So yes, so for him to be there with Mr. Phil Spencer, that's given an indication of one or two things. Either it's going to be a AAA new RPG that this man's going to be working on, or since they renewed the old title of Lost Odyssey, we could be seeing a Lost Odyssey 2. And I want to go straight to our guest again. What do you think about this, Welsh gamer? Have you played Lost Odyssey? Would this be something that you would be interested in, and how you feel about this whole situation?
Well, with the previous topic, I alluded to the fact that if I haven't got a clue about something, I'll be the first one to say it. So I'm going to be a man of my word and say I have no clue what Lost Odyssey is.
Nice.
All I will say, though, on principle, is I hope that this is true, because there's obviously going to be a significant amount of fans of this Sakaguchi and his work and Lost Odyssey and what other games or potential IPs that might come their way. So I'll just say this, as a gamer, I hope to God that people get what they want.
All right. Now, good. I like that. I do.
I mean, one thing to say as well is, Phil, you got to give Phil the props that he is due. He's constantly chasing for, the Japanese market to be more prominent and have a much bigger presence on Xbox, and big ups to him. And he deserves the awards that he gets, because he's constantly chasing. It was one of the biggest criticisms last year and the year before, and I think he's made good on his promise, and this is just another example.
Absolutely, and especially for the one thing that Xbox has had, especially this gen, has had a very bad relationship with the Japanese developer, and for him to be there with the gentleman that made Lost Odyssey, an Xbox JRPG exclusive. You know what I'm saying? He's a maker of the Final Fantasy. You know what I'm saying? He has been one of the developers that's helped make Final Fantasy games. So of course, if you played Lost Odyssey, it's very reminiscent of Final Fantasy.
You're thinking differently. Sakaguchi is the director and designer who did Lost Odyssey for the 360.
No, I know that.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying.
The way that you said it, you made it seem like it was two different things. Okay.
No. I was saying he also worked on Final Fantasy games. That's what I was saying. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
He was
one of the founders of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me pay the bills. Sir X-Men, he said that the same people that talk about you for not playing Dark Souls, it's probably the same people that never played Tomb Raider. You know what I'm saying? People play what they like. Oh, no doubt. No, not somebody. I haven't had anybody jump on me about Dark Souls. I mean, I get a lot of people to jump on me about something, but never about Dark Souls. I just was reading an article today that stated, this was the headline. It stated, if you have not played and beat a Dark Souls, you're not a real gamer. This was an article from some journalist, you know what I'm saying, that made that their headline. Like, I mean,
because he's probably a fan.
And, well, of course he had to be a fan. It's an
excellent game. I've watched people play it, but it's just not my type of game.
Sorry, I apologize, guys. I'm a fraud.
Awesome.
I'm going to leave.
I think most of us got to leave. I think it's all bloody knuckles. I think that's what's going to happen.
Right. That's an awesome game, and I could watch people play it. And what's crazy is what I love about Dark Souls is the boss battles.
Yes. Okay.
The boss battles are awesome. But you know what? What replaces Dark Souls for me is Devil May Cry. No. Devil May Cry and Bayonetta. That's what replaces. That's what replaces Dark Souls for me. Yeah, because those boss battles in both those games I just mentioned is awesome. That game is awesome. I just don't play it.
Ninja Gaiden is hard. Ninja Gaiden is as hard as I want my games to be.
Hey, Ninja Gaiden was probably one of the first, probably the epitome of one of those games too.
Right.
Yeah,
no question.
Ninja Gaiden has got to be the toughest game. Oh, look who else is in here. Look who else is popping here. Okay, what's up?
What's up, y'all? Gaming?
Yeah, what's up?
Real quick. Did y'all already talk about Halo?
No.
No. We're talking about Halo here.
All right.
Yeah. No, that's going to be a little bit later. Yeah, because I think that's going to be the topic of topics tonight. Because you know how I'm going to be about the Halo situation. But anyway, but yeah, I just
that one. That is not mine.
Okay, but no, I just wanted to go to you. I'll go to you, Knuckles, too, about this. What is your whole thoughts about this? The opportunity, and this could be for Blue Dragon as well.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We've seen, and especially I've been saying it since E3, Phil Spencer's push for the Japanese market, his work with Japanese developers has been phenomenal for the Xbox brand. We have seen so many ties cut from the Microsoft and Xbox brand from the Japanese community since the 360 era. Because after like 2009, after we had the exclusive like Lost Odyssey, after Blue Dragon, we weren't seeing a lot of exclusives or things coming over. Yeah, we still had the multiplats that were coming over, things from Sega and others, but we weren't seeing a lot of things. And especially in the early days of the Xbox One, there was no support. And in the past 2 years, we have seen a massive turnaround, and we're seeing Japanese developers speak on their show floor. They're showing off specifically on their console and doing these first announces on the Xbox. Yeah, they're multiplats, but they're showing it off there. Everything that he's doing is absolutely well deserved. And getting a man like Sakaguchi to come back after Lost Odyssey and after what he's done on Final Fantasy, him saying, I am not going to work on AAA games anymore, and getting that exclusive, probably one of the best Japanese RPGs in a long time. Like Lost Odyssey is phenomenal. If you haven't played it, it's well worth it.
Yeah,
to go back. It's an amazing story. To get that man to come out of retirement, renew that series, and he says that he's working on a new AAA game, something he swore off of, and having a picture with him is a very heavy-handed suggestion on what we can possibly see in the future. Will it be multiplat? Sure. If it is, that's great, because Sakaguchi is an artiste and a visionary with the games that he's designed. If it's an exclusive and it's for Xbox after the work that he's doing, that's even bigger pool, because the fact that it shows the trust and relationship that he has spent the past few years building. And for the fans, especially me as the stands for the Japanese fans on Xbox, this is a good thing to take note of, that what he's doing is right for the brand as well as for the community. We've asked for more support from the Japanese. We want a lot of those games that are exclusive on PlayStation that deserve to be multiplats, and we're slowly seeing those change over. This is a good sign of things to come in the future, and I hope so, because we've seen several fans or big visionaries like that do. It was the same for fans of Studio Ghibli. Hayao Miyazaki said he wasn't going to do a film again for a long time, and he did one a couple years back, and that's the last one he's done since then. This is one of those things for the lovers of JRPGs. Sakaguchi has such a phenomenal history that this is a good sign of things to come if he's coming back, and we're seeing these renewals for a game like Lost Odyssey.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You're absolutely right. What about you, 108? What do you think about this?
Okay, I'm going to take a different road. First of all, with the support they had on 360 and even the original Xbox, they should have never lost it. They lost ties to the Japanese market. The Japanese games.
It was all from Don Matrick, from Donnie D.
Right. No matter what happened, I'm talking about Xbox as a company, not pointing no fingers at anybody, but I'm just saying, like, being that they're getting it back, for me to say that to Phil Spencer, what I would say is it's about time, because that's what y'all had in the beginning. I beat Blue Dragon. I beat that boss at the end that looked like Godzilla. Facts. I enjoyed the hell out of that game. You understand what I'm saying? So when y'all lost that Japanese support, that lost part of me too. You know what I'm saying? This generation, they lost it, and then they're getting it back. So I'm not going to congratulate Xbox for doing something they should have did. They shouldn't have never lost. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see it's happening. Lost Odyssey is an awesome game. I beat that too. But for when they lost it, I thought Microsoft took two or three steps back. Now they got to go over there and cater. You know what I'm saying? We are seeing Japan support Xbox more. I mean, where did we see Kingdom Hearts at E3? We all was there. Where did we see that on stage?
Xbox. And we got DMC5.
And guess what?
Yeah, DMC5.
And DMC5. And guess what?
And Tales of Vesperia. Jump Force and Tales of Vesperia remake. Yeah.
So when that went down, we all had the same look at the same time. We didn't even say nothing. We looked at each other, and at the end of that press conference, we left and said, "Did you see the Japanese support?" We all had the same time, like, wow. But they should have never lost it. They got blank checks. Put your money where your mouth is and keep pushing.
But there was a lot of red tape involved, though.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
They
gotta
overcome that. They gotta overcome that.
Okay, listen. This is the thing. You got bosses, I got bosses.
Right.
So the thing of this is this: if you got too many hands in the pot that doesn't care about the interest of one aspect of something, and they're your superior, and maybe that other person underneath may care, then there's nothing that they can do. So that's what I'm saying. So like, look, they could have went the same path as Don Matrick and just kept it pushing, and then kept the same people there. You know what I'm saying? You have to give Phil Spencer his props.
No, I'm not taking it away. I'm not.
You have to. You have to.
I'm saying as Xbox as a company, not Don Matrick, not Phil Spencer, because Phil Spencer went back out there and chased that work.
Okay, but Microsoft Xbox is not the parent company. It's Microsoft.
Yeah,
they just got Xbox is just a small entity into the whole other. Like they would be probably more aware about something if it was regarding Windows or Azure or something like that. But at the time, Xbox was just like a toy to some of these people.
It's just a branch.
Yeah, it was just a branch at the time, right? And so it had to take somebody who really cared about the brand. Like they did during the OG and the 360, right? That's what it's all about. Look, there's one thing that everybody misses most from Don Matrick, and that is his advertising prowess. He knew how to advertise better than anybody. But the fact of it is that what do we have? What do we have this generation with Xbox? Compared to what we should have had with the 360 and the OG Xbox. Right. Which one do you want? Do you want all the advertisement, or do you want the games and all the games that came with?
I want a level area. I want a level playing field. Give me both.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying, but if there was only one that you could get, which one would you want?
I want the games.
Okay.
Because look at Blue Dragon. I remember in my day when Blue Dragon was being announced, people didn't even know what it was. It's like what I said when they advertised the first Final Fantasy VII and they showed those CG commercials. Most United States copped that Final Fantasy VII thinking the game looked like those CG commercials because Sony did a great job of advertising. Blue Dragon was everywhere in the United States. Everywhere. People, when they bought the system, they bought Blue Dragon. It was a no-brainer. It was like a one-for-one sale. That's cool and all, but you still need that support, and I'd rather have the games than advertisement. I mean, I can't say they don't advertise because on YouTube, which is the biggest platform for advertisement at the moment, you see Xbox commercials. You just don't
say something.
I mean, you watch TNT, you see 2K commercials. They doing something. They just got to do better. But I agree with you, K Mega. We want content over everything else.
Yo, I gotta say this, man. I think, and this is to you as well, Mega. I do think that as time progresses, like in the next few years, we will see a level of the two things, because when I think of the transition that Xbox has been in since 2013, it went from a pretty let's just say Microsoft as a huge company didn't really put much stock in the gaming division. It was they were going to use the Xbox with Don Matrick's with the original OG fat Xbox One. It was just going to be like that multimedia box, which is more TV focused and all that stuff. And now, however many years later, Phil taking over, it is now the juggernaut that is the Xbox ecosystem, and and the gaming division, as quoted by Satya Nadella and Phil Spencer themselves, has never been bigger and more focused on than it is right now. And now when you put that into perspective, like the OG Xbox came out, what was it, back in 2000 or 2001?
2001, yeah,
2001.
And it's only now going, as we might as well say we're going, it's 2019. It's going to be 2019 and half a fat.
Hold on. You got to explain what that even means.
What?
Half of what?
Half a fat.
I'm still boggled, but okay.
Half a fart? Yeah. Did he say half a fart?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, half a fart. But
his accent. I was like, half a what? Okay,
half
I got
fart.
you. I'll get that.
Yeah, half a fart.
It's my God, but
my apologies.
Yeah, you fine. Hey, he said half a fart. Like it was weak.
It was weak. I got it.
Yeah,
I was like, half a what?
Thank you for the save, K Mega.
Oh, you good? You good? I got you, bro. I got you.
He just wanted to make sure. That's all. He just wanted to make sure we weren't mentioning it.
That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. But what I'm getting at is, but going into 2019, and it's only really now that we're hearing the kinds of quotes from Microsoft and Phil Spencer and Satya Nadella, the CEO, the gaming division has never been more focused on than it is right now and moving forward. And with that as well, you've got Phil Spencer leading the charge, big double bicep Phil, who was shaking the hands of so many different companies and developers making the acquisitions left and right. But prominently, like we're talking about right now, he is gaining, or should I say regaining, as you alluded to, Dragons TV, the relationship with the Japanese market that Xbox did once have. Now, the marketing side of things as well, the way they're going to be approaching the casual market with the 3 different SKUs and the hardcore market, I think, honestly, moving forward, it is going to be, come next generation, come 2019, 2020 and beyond, you're going to see a whole new Xbox. And I'm on about the Japanese market is going to be strong as well. Because when I look at the PlayStation, and we've all been there, we've all been on Twitter, when these fanatical ponies come at you with these long lists. Oh, look at my lists. Look at my games list. 90% of that list of games are third-party Japanese handouts, which are loyal to the Japanese box because they didn't have that relationship with Xbox. But that is about to change. I'm telling you, most, if not all of those games in question will make their way over to Xbox in the next few years, as well as more games thanks to the likes of Phil chasing. And then you've got the marketing team who are going to come in droves and really push for marketing. Aaron Greenberg's already alluded to the fact that marketing's going to be a huge focus come next gen with all these different SKUs. I think it's all in one. Looking forward, going to be. I think it's going to tick every box. I think everyone on this panel, based on what I'm listening, as an outsider listening to you guys talking about Sakaguchi and Lost Odyssey and all this Japanese stuff, I think everyone's going to be happy, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Whether you're a fan of Japanese games or not, it's going to be pretty impressive.
And I'm glad you brought that up. The only thing is right now is that while the relationship's getting better, and we're definitely going to see a great change, is that we need to see more now, because I've said this multiple times and I'll continue to say it. I love Namco Bandai, but I also hate Namco Bandai. I love that they bring stuff over, and when they do bring stuff over, it's good stuff. Look at what we got coming next year with One Piece World Seeker, with Jump Force. We just got Tekken Soul Calibur and a couple other big anime games, and Japanese, especially what we're seeing with Sega with Tales of Vesperia. We got Shining Resonance. We got Valkyria Chronicles 4. But there are still games that are getting cherry picked that I hate is being cherry picked.
You're never going to get past that. You're never going to get past that.
I'm not. But they need to be better, because yes, we're starting to see a bigger push for those games. Look at what Monster Hunter. Look at here's the thing. Here's the precedent that Monster Hunter World set up. Okay, that was a game that no one thought was going to do well, especially on Xbox, and it sold well on both systems and still had a strong appeal to the Japanese fans on the Xbox brand. Don't pull games back and cherry pick. We're seeing it with the Tokyo Ghoul game. We saw it with the Hack Sai game, and a couple others that were remasters.
That's something online too. What's that something online on Xbox?
Yeah, but they need to stop cherry picking. But I'm just saying that though they cannot, if they really want to solidify the relationship and show the good faith, stop cherry picking what you bring over and show that you have the faith. I was like, Microsoft has already said that they're willing to we just saw that they're setting up a studio to do deals with Japanese developers to bring things over, and they've stated multiple times they will send developers to go help Japanese devs port for the Xbox architecture.
Right.
Don't stop that stuff now. Start letting it show that you have good faith in these games. I was like, the Tokyo Ghoul game coming out looks really good. The Hack Sai game, really phenomenal. Like, don't hold back. And Sega, they've been mum on it, but they're doing a remake of the Catherine game that was big on the 360. And they're adding a new character and completely redoing it. They've only confirmed in Japan that it's going to be on PlayStation and I believe Steam and then PS Vita. They haven't announced anything or confirmed anything for the West. We know it was on Xbox previously. Stop beating around the bush and just say that it's going to be multiplayer across all platforms. Those are the things that they need to stop cherry picking and be upfront with it. You know, that's where it comes down to as well. That's just my thoughts on someone who actually cares for that subsect and genre and the most vocal about it, because it needs to be vocal about from the fans who care about that.
But Japanese is kind of biased. I mean, they don't buy. Hold on. This goes back to the Atari 2600. They don't support American systems, period. And I ain't talking about from the developer standpoint. I'm talking about as a market share.
Oh no, they're xenophobic. That's pretty much why.
They do not support American systems. Xbox One X is the most powerful system on the planet. In Japan, sold like 15 of them the first time it came out. 15? 15 people recognize that the system is better than everything on the planet. Are you serious?
And we know that, and the part of that's a cultural thing, and I've talked about that as well. Is that they're very nationalist. Hey, Americans can be just as bad about American products and stuff like that. Yes, we get a lot of stuff that's imported, but not.
PlayStation, Samsung.
We're still very pro-American, are we not? But
we made Samsung there successful.
Well, let's go ahead and let's let OP sit there and say something, man, because he hasn't said anything. So go ahead.
I'll say something, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
We covered everything on this. I have two nitpicks. One, like, it's great that Xbox opened up that Asian studio to help port and get games over here, but is anyone else bothered by the fact that they have to send devs over to help them with current gen consoles? Does that like show any red flags to anybody on this panel?
I mean,
for me, because these are experienced devs, they're veterans, most of them are, and you can't work with a current gen console. That's a little mind-boggling to me.
Well, hold on. Let me say this to you, Operation. I'm going to say this to you.
Yeah.
And this is no discredit to the Japanese developers. Let's just be honest. Back in the days of Saturn, Genesis, Super Nintendo, the Japanese developer was ahead of the Westerners.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay. RPGs have changed with one series. Mass Effect. Once Mass Effect hit the market, they lost the market. Action RPGs has killed turn-based right off the bat. Those developers in Japan.
Well, I also think isometric
RPGs
had a part of that too.
Let me finish. They do not know good networking, as we see till today with Street Fighter,
Monster Hunter World,
Tekken, Monster
Dragon
Hunter
Ball
World,
Fighters.
Dragon Ball Z. They are so behind the times in terms of programming for today. They still got to learn. This is not back in the days where it take 50 dudes to get the game to run online. You know what I'm saying? They have to step up to the millennium and change their thought of programming. Nintendo had to change their thoughts on making consoles. That's why the Switch is successful.
You know what it is?
You know what I'm saying? They have to change. They don't change. They're stuck in their ways. And you know, they need people to go over there and help them. Street Fighter 5 did not run good online.
You know what's part of the problem, bud? People let them get away with this mess. You see how everybody praise them, giving them a pass on all this shit that they're doing. Like, look at Nintendo. Their infrastructure ass. Sony, their ass. Monster Hunter, it's a dope multiplayer game, but people, it's terrible. There's too many steps to get to it, and people not speaking about it. They're giving a pass on this shit. That's what they're so behind.
It's my witness. When we first bought Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or Dragon Ball Fighters, day one, we're hardcore gamers. We had to figure out how to get each other in the same goddamn room.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. Monster Hunter World, the same thing. You don't pick servers and go to that was old school PC style.
That was Dreamcast. That was old Dreamcast.
What server are you in, K Mega? I'm in K Mega 405+2. Okay, I gotta look that up. This is what Monster Hunter World came out. Dragon Ball Z Fight. I'm like, these dudes really need a slap in the face with reality and step up their game. So now that Microsoft is over there trying to help them step their game up, because Sony didn't do that. Sony like, oh, put the game out, we don't care. Nintendo, put the game out, we don't care. I don't know if Knuckles know this. There's an RPG coming out for the Switch that's already out on Xbox, and it's coming out to PS4. That's supposed to be cross-platform play. You know what the biggest issue is? They don't know how to get both groups from different systems into the same lobby. That's what's holding the game up. But y'all, you know, dudes like Hideo Kojima, he's been making Western games with Metal Gear Solid forever. He's been successful. The dude from Tecmo with Ninja Gaiden, right? He's been successful because they have broader visions on how to bring different communities and different areas and different backgrounds into the same game. Honestly, outside of Japan, what has really been successful? Final Fantasy 15 just reached its first mark this generation. The rest of the Final Fantasies fell off. They didn't know how to bring in everybody. You can't make a game one way and own your culture and expect everybody to understand it. They have to do better for Japan developers in general. That's all it is.
But
Yeah.
I also said that in the past.
I don't know about the whole Final Fantasy thing. I don't know about
Well,
that.
no,
Let
because
Final Fantasy struggling came out.
Wait. Let Livewire, because Livewire was trying to chime in and say something. What do you got to say, Livewire?
Yeah, I was just saying that the Japanese, well, not all, but a lot of them are kind of like the coal miners of the gaming industry. They stuck in their ways and they don't want to evolve. Their daddy was a coal miner, and their grandpappy was a coal miner. This is how they did it back in the day.
Right.
And instead of like, look, you developed games back in the day that way. All right, cool, that's fine. And even if you look at, like, I'm looking at, I got a PlayStation now, and a lot of these games that I'm seeing on the PlayStation that where they got, PlayStation got so many more games than Xbox. They just got a ton of JRPGs that are these type games that most people don't even play, but they're just on there because PlayStation says fuck it, we'll just take it, and because it is a Japanese company, only the Japanese are the ones that really play it. The Japanese are cool with playing those type of games, but everybody else is like, unless it is a Final Fantasy or it is a Ninja Gaiden or a Resident Evil or whatever, people don't give a fuck about that shit.
Oh, let me go ahead and pay the bills. I'm sorry, Live. You know what I'm saying, Derek? You know what I'm saying? Radcliffe sit there and said, you have to support Japanese infrastructure. And I do believe that, now, when you want to talk about their infrastructure, they're light years ahead of us when it comes to their gaming speeds with their internet, things like that. Everything is way more advanced. The thing is,
it's the way that they set up their online. It's still archaic, man.
Right. It's still ancient. It's
1990-ish.
Right.
It's
and that's
ironic too, anyway.
Right. And the one thing I think that is what was brought up was about the that new studio that Xbox is bringing out there that I'm pretty sure that is something that they want to help do. Is like, look, we got some developers that can help you work on these certain online aspects, because Xbox, let's not kid ourselves. Xbox want to keep it what Xbox is, and that's about online gaming, right?
Facts.
So yeah, you can have your little nuggets of single player games, but we want to have those Japanese games that can have those online play. Because look, I would still be playing Naruto right now to this day if that online was even was even
right. It was horrible.
Hey, let me ask this question. Do y'all think that the reason why Japanese games haven't evolved as much as the other, Western games is because they're not the ones that created this new progression? So they feel like, nah, fuck that. Since it's not our thing, we're gonna stick to what we do.
They didn't believe in online play. They said that themselves.
I'm not even just talking about it. I'm just talking about the mechanics and just the single player aspect. I'm not even getting to the multiplayer portion of it. I'm just talking about straight single player.
There's faults on multiple ends. There's them stuck in their ways. There's the fans and the media, everybody who are not calling them out on this stuff. They're allowing it pretty much because no one wants to speak up against it. Like, it's taboo to speak against it. Recently, I played the Devil May Cry 5 demo. This is a slight nitpick, but like the UI, some mechanics, it felt dated. Like, I thought I was playing an updated 360 game at some points, but like the mechanics are smooth and everything. But like some systems, some parts of it just felt this just felt dated to me. But I'll let you go on live.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like they just I wouldn't say they get a pass. I think that it's a sort of a pass. It's like if things are bad, they don't harp on it, right? But if it's great, then they praise it to the heavens. Like when they get that Persona 5, it's the greatest thing ever. But when they get the some bullshit title, I can't think of them. But when they get one of those little mediocre games, it's just like, well, whatever, doesn't matter.
Right. No, yeah, they just had included in the list, and then you never hear anything about it anymore.
Another thing is, you hear them, they generalize their success a lot. Like one does well, they like claim all of them. They're called like, oh, Japanese games are coming back now.
Right.
But you know dang well, most of our cannon fodder.
I'm gonna give you a prime example of the thinking of the Japanese. One of my boys is a regional manager in GameStop, right? And he's telling me Xbox don't have games. He's an Xbox dude, and he owns a PlayStation. They don't have games. I said, what are you talking about? So he takes me to the wall, and he starts to show me all these tiny ass RPGs. So you know what I do? I said, this shit doesn't even matter. This don't matter. Nobody's buying it. But it's awesome. He shows me a game. I pull up the name. I pull up the sales, 50,000 sold. I'm like, at that time, it was like 70,000 systems. I'm like, but you're counting this as quality because it has quantity on the system. You understand? It's not selling, but they have it, so it's a good look. That's not a good look.
No.
You can't have 30 games that sold nothing and brag about it.
But this is the one thing I'm gonna make this point, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. But look, this is one thing that I think that the strategy was with Xbox when they first came in was like, look, we don't want to bring in all these games like we did with the 360, and then they don't sell that well, and it's just all hyperbole about, well, you know, at least they have all this. But the main fodder.
I will agree with that.
Right. But the main point of it is, at the end of the day, is that it did matter. Because even though that, 50,000 out of you got 50 million consoles sold isn't shit, right? But to those 50,000 people, that's how Persona became Persona. Persona didn't sell worth a damn for a very long time. They have only hit 10 million just now out of as long as that franchise has been out. They only hit 10 million overall sales
as a franchise.
But this one hit, and watch, I guarantee you, the next Persona that comes out, it's going to sell about the same or even more because it's starting to go mainstream.
What came out when
here's the thing about that too, is that people weren't really into Persona because people forget that Persona is a spin-off of another series, which is the Shin Megami Tensei series, which is technically more popular than Persona, but still doesn't sell as well, or sells about just a little bit more than that in their overall lifetime sales. That's still something that people forget.
Right. So I don't know. What you gonna say?
I was saying I think Persona got big because at that time there was nothing else. What else could you buy for Persona 5 at that time?
The media went all out about it. Then the fans went all out about it. You know what I'm saying?
Because a lot of people went that own PlayStations. I wouldn't say a lot, but more people than typically would go buy Persona, bought Persona just to find out they didn't like Persona. They were like, "Oh, we gotta try it." It's high. It was rated like 90 something.
Yeah,
but it was rated 90 something, right?
Yeah. They were saying it was the greatest JRPG / RPG of all time.
Yeah, a lot of people bought that game, and a lot of people didn't like that game because they realized, oh wait, this is a turn-based game.
I took this shit back. He said that wasn't for me. That was weird.
Yeah, I mean, but people went, and that's what is a big thing about ratings. You know, if it gets a high rating, you'll get it. You know, you'll get a chance to get somebody to buy something, even though they have no interest in what your game is, especially if there's hype behind it. Now, if there's if it was just Persona getting a 94, but there was absolutely no hype, then nobody would have bought the shit.
But also, they gained more fans as well, though, because there's a lot of people that played it and they loved it. So,
well, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I would say those are.
Persona now got to itself is inching its way into the mainstream. So,
those are mostly anime fans. Like, I don't know anybody who's a non-anime fan that was like, "Yo, I like Persona." Like that. No, it's not happening.
I thought Persona was good until Mega told me about
this for like 35 minutes. Let's move on to the next.
Hey, he's just trying to get to the point across that not everyone likes the penis demon.
Yeah, that's right.
Mega changed my mind with that. I was playing that game hardcore until I heard about that. So penis demon.
Okay. Hold on. Let's check it out. there was something that I put in late that I was going to put in, but we're going to talk about it. And that was this. Okay, we already know about Game Pass. We already know about the success that it's getting, right? Mm-hmm. Now we already know that PlayStation Now has been in full effect since what, 2014, something around there. Now,
yeah,
Game Pass is now starting to establish itself. There's from the media everywhere else, there's starting to be believers like, whoa, this Netflix type of service with video games is actually really cool. Now, lo and behold, PlayStation Now was a streaming service. Then they seen what Xbox was doing with how they were downloading their games. They said so PlayStation Now changed it. Now, all of a sudden, it comes down to where Xbox was saying that, look, we want to start putting all our games on every device. So then we had a whole group of people that were saying, well, now I can start to play Halo and Forza and Gears on my PlayStation, right?
Okay.
Yeah, what's the point of all this? What's the point of all that? You know, the welfare, you know what I'm saying? You know, this is the welfare gimmick system, all this and all that. Now, lo and behold, PlayStation is now giving the same type of talk of where they want to do the play anywhere. Now, let me remind you guys, PlayStation did bring this up back in 2014, 2015, when they wanted to put things on all the devices with the Vita and you know, with television. They had PlayStation Now on Samsung's, things like that. Now, all of a sudden, all the energy that was negative towards Xbox going on, what the hell was that?
Oh man!
It sound like Infamous.
Yeah. Like, oh shit! Anyway, nothing. It's inside joke. Inside joke. Anyway, you're there fool. Anyway, so all the energy about how Xbox was going to be put on every other device out there, and it was getting ready to be on PlayStation. Halo gonna be there. Now, since PlayStation is going full balls to the wall with the same type of strategy, what's the energy now? Because, I mean, if that's the case, if it's going to be PlayStation everywhere, I mean, damn, is it that we're going to say we're going to play with God of War and Spider-Man on our Xbox? I mean, I'm going to go to you, OP, because you know what I'm saying? You just came on here. What is your thoughts about this whole crazy situation now since it's changed and PlayStation wants to do the same thing as Xbox?
Okay, well, just for the record, this all came out from a job listing, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so it's not 100% finalized, right?
Well, also, back in 2014, 2015, PlayStation was really heavy. They did on E3, they were at E3, they were talking about putting all these things on all the devices, things like that. They were talking about that, yeah. Yeah,
of course. So it's only a matter of time. Well, first of all, Crow. There's a lot of Crow to be served right now. Like that, man, bro. The storage, bro. Empty those stuff guns out, bro. There's a lot to serve right now. But yeah, bro, this energy it just evaporated overnight when it was brought up. But yeah, man, like it's ridiculous how they just fought against this, saying like they're a market leader, they'll stick to the winning strategy. What company that's successful and still running right now does the same thing they did how many years ago? Like, come on, that's stagnation as definition right there. You change, you evolve, and you change for the times coming forward. As in the technology business, we're going towards streaming. That's the future of the gaming business as well, other mediums as well. So why not would they adapt and go along with it? Of course, they were the first to for Microsoft, I believe, but Microsoft are trying to take a better approach to it, and Sony just lagging behind right now. This is really good for all the gamers. Like, why do you want to be locked down to PlayStation? That's like the dumbest argument they have fallen. The fact that you want to play games on your PlayStation 4. Are you telling you only want to come home, boot up your PlayStation 4, and play God War on your PlayStation? You want to play it at work? You want to play it on drive? You want to play it on a bus? Do you want your son or daughter to play it while they're at school and at lunch? Like, that makes no damn sense. Why do you want to be stuck to one console, one system, one place to play your games? It's ridiculous, but these fanboys, they're fanatics. They'll fight for anything if PlayStation co-signs it. This is good for all the gamers if it comes through.
It is, and the fact that it's going to be going to multiple devices and being able to play anywhere, that's a great thing.
Right.
But it's the fact of the ability to take that game anywhere is what's so enticing. Think about why the Switch is selling as well as it does.
Exactly.
While it's a home console, they could also take it with them anywhere. Yes, it's still tied to the console, but still the fact of, hey, they can literally take that game and play it anytime. We've seen the success and kind of usefulness of Xbox Play Anywhere, and with the games that are on that. I've personally used it multiple times because I've used it to play State of Decay 2, and I've used it to play Sea of Thieves. When I would go back home, didn't want to carry my Xbox, I would play it on my laptop because I had that ability, and it's nice. We also seen how they've adapted the Xbox app on PC and on phones to be able to make it a little bit better, to have that capability. This is just the natural progression of things, and people who are trying to stay so behind in that archaic way of thinking
Slavery.
are the ones who aren't going to change. And it is. But the fact is, if they don't accept that things are changed and that a lot of the industry notice this is the change and the trends and making that, and then when they do, just not going to say anything about it because of the fact that they're just like, well, shit, everyone else was right. No, accept the fact that you were wrong. Everyone else in the industry who knows more than you do, by the way, saw this coming and accept that fact. If you cannot accept that people who actually do this for a living knew this was coming and have shown you otherwise, then shut the hell up and stop saying a damn thing, because you're only going to make yourself look more like an idiot.
The damage control for this is just beyond
it's
idiotic.
Yeah. It
That's
is.
That's bring up GameFly saying GameFly does and no one cares. Are you, bro? Who talks about GameFly? Nobody in this game circle talks about GameFly, nor even bothers with it. You want to bring it up as to save face, bro? Just stop. Go sit down somewhere. Eat your crow.
That's right. Hey, Welsh, what do you think about this whole changing of everything now? Since now that PlayStation is really actually they're going to go the same route as what Xbox is going to do.
Oh man, it's just
look at him. I see a big ass smile on his face. Look at I can see. I can sense it. I can see it from here, bro.
Oh man, it's just magic, man. It's just music to my fucking ears. Because
it really is.
The ponies and all them lot, like they're constantly like, I don't know what they want. I think they would literally be happy with just their box in a fucking cave, isolated away from the outside world, back in the caveman era, just like, yep, this is gaming for me. But literally, like, let's just rewind a second. Like, when Xbox came forward, like, many moons ago with the notion of Windows 10, play anywhere, play on any device, PC, Xbox as a brand across devices, the ecosystem, it's not just a box anymore, it's a brand across multiple devices. And now we're seeing it in full effect with things like the X Cloud coming. We've got a streaming box, a mid-tier console coming, a premium console coming, and then even now in the right here and now, you've got Game Pass, which you can their brand, porting over to like PC as part of the Windows 10 like market as well, and before you know it, like, because it has been more or less like confirmed now that before you know it, you're going to be able to play your games on like a tablet or a phone through the Xbox app, and as long as you have a subscription to Game Pass, and it's finally coming into full effect. And I have been saying since the beginning, when it was initially just like thrown out there, and there wasn't a whole lot to go on other than Windows 10 play anywhere. I wonder what that is. I remember back doing YouTube videos on my channel like 2-3 years ago about it, and people were still just as confused then as they seem to be right now. And I used to say all the time, this is the future of gaming. Like, gaming is going to go this route, because if it just stays if you're just isolated and you're just stuck with a static box and you can't do anything but the only time you can play games is when you're at home on your ass at your TV, like, it's just going to stay stagnant. Things need to progress. You got to let the bird spread its wings and fly. And the funny thing is, with all that said and done, all I ever heard from ponies was the same shit, like, Xbox is getting out of the business, they're moving to PC, or there's no true exclusives, they're not on that, where's the exclusives at? Because they couldn't just comprehend in their small, tiny little fucking brains that the Xbox was a brand across devices, not just a box anymore. And they were like, well, I'm going to go with what Cyrus was saying. Serve that crow and serve it in large amounts, because these same people, I would love to have a conversation with them. Be like, yo, so how does it feel that everything you slated about Xbox and their vision and where it's going, PlayStation are catching wind of this, because bottom line, it's been a huge success. Like, just take Game Pass alone. Like, the only other service out there these days that for that level of value, for that level for the money you're spending, the only other service I can think of that is to the same level as Game Pass is Netflix itself.
Facts.
Like the actual and Game Pass is literally Netflix for gaming. And well, I've said this for years as well. Hashtag Xbox innovates, PlayStation imitates. And bottom line, they have, they're a business too. And yes, they're successful and they've led the charge this gen with units sold and their first party. But money talks. And when you've got an innovator like Microsoft who've taken a chance with something and is paying up dividends, they're making money left and right. The 7 acquisitions at E3 plus many more to come. The quadruple A developer, the initiative, all these things were founded, and breathed life into because of money. And where do you think that money fucking came from, guys? It's the services and all these different things coming left and right. The innovation, a broad spectrum. Getting all gamers on board, and Sony have caught wind of this, and they'd be fools not to do this, because if they don't put their foot and plant a seed in now and get the ball rolling now, they're going to be left stagnant next gen. It'll literally be like Xbox is where you go for everything, and PlayStation, well, you just got to sit and play games like you did.
Well, you got VR. I mean, you got VR. So I mean,
but you got VR. Don't you worry. But
don't worry, we got VR.
But again, man, I mean, I hope I'm making sense. I always get a little when I go off on these tangents. I just like to make sure I'm making sense.
No, you're perfectly fine, bro. You made perfect sense. But matter of fact, let me give who makes perfect sense is our boy Thomas Franks. Man, he's up in the building. He's at there. Well, I said the building, the virtual building.
He's in the building. Facts.
He's in the virtual building. What's up, baby? He's at the GRG. What's good here? Showing love, Kings. I know I'm late, but I'm here. K Mega live. Motown 108 and the rest of the cast respect all Kings. I bleed green, no doubt, no doubt. Even his little thing is green. That's how green he is. I like that.
Thing is green. You got to clean that up.
Okay, man. His little box, the box that he put the text in is green.
Okay.
Golly, come on, man. Stop being a 12-year-old, bro. Come on now. Anyway.
Oh, no. We ain't doing this. We are not doing this.
Oh, messy. See, we are already. Okay, anyway. Let's see. Livewire, what is your whole thoughts about this?
Baby.
Look, man, I think we were looking at a conversation on Twitter. This guy said some wild shit. He's talking about how, well, first his numbers was all wrong. He was like, Game Pass is 120, and then he said PS Now was like $80 a year. I said, hold up, $80 a year in your fucking dreams, dog? Where the fuck you see $80 a year for half the year? I was like, yo, this guy's crazy. But just the simple fact that we get, you get the exclusives, that's a big deal. Then on top of it, they're just flooding it with a lot of these I would say AA games, with the Ashens and the Belows and what's the other one that just popped in the other day?
There's Strange Brigade. There's
Brigade, Below.
No,
you already said Below. You got
Hellblade,
Shadow Warrior. Hellblade just popped in there.
Yeah, Shadow Warrior, and then you get into AAAs with the Mortal Kombat and whatnot.
Hey, don't forget too that they just put Hellblade in there as well too.
Yeah.
Stranger
Things, right?
Can I just quickly throw a random
Stranger Things? What's it called? Life is Strange. That's what it was.
Yeah, go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead, Will.
Series.
Go ahead, Will.
I'll give it straight back to you now. But when it comes to PS Now, because obviously it's a wonderful notion, but if I'm not mistaken, the only games on there are backward compat games, correct? Or games that are like older games. They don't do what Game Pass does, which gives
not even close.
Very old PS3 games and a couple-year-old PS4 games. Nothing new.
PS4 greatest hits already.
You can play everything, but only the PS4 PS4 games, I believe, are downloadable.
Right.
Yeah,
and maybe the PS2 ones.
No, nothing.
Wait, isn't
Only
Bloodborne on there
PlayStation 4
too?
game.
Or only
Yeah.
the PlayStation 4 ones? Okay.
Only PlayStation 4. They have no real backwards compatibility. Everything is streamlined.
So
well,
that what I'm getting at is
bad,
that'll be an interesting thing to see if they are going to take a piece out of the Xbox pie. I wonder if, come say next generation when PS5 drops and everything, and if they take this PlayStation Anywhere to the same sort of lengths as Game Pass and what Xbox has been doing with Xbox Play Anywhere. I am curious to see if they will be dropping like Days Gone and Last of Us 2 and stuff like that day and date on their service, like because like Sony are stuck in their ways. I'm wondering if they will bite the bullet on that one and give that a shot, but only time will tell. But
they're gonna
but
give
Xbox,
I want to hear Livewire here answer that question. Go ahead.
Of course, crack on. Like, sorry for cutting you off.
No, but what I was always saying is like, all right, so the conversation that was on Twitter was the guy was basically saying how, PlayStation has all these PS4 games in there. Xbox doesn't have anything in there. They got like a handful. Well, the truth is Xbox has not even just, well, let's just say this. Every game in Game Pass downloads to your hard drive. We all know this. Whereas only a fraction of what's in PS Now downloads to the hardware. Then on top of that, they technically only have, as far as PlayStation per se, about 30 titles that are AAA. And out of those 30 titles, maybe more than half of them are ports from PS3. So it's not like there are legitimate PS4 games over there. Whereas Xbox has about 50, and I would say about half of them are they have like 50 AAAs and half of them are 360 titles.
Okay, but answer the question. But the question that that Welsh asked was, do you think that PlayStation will implement the same thing with PlayStation Now like they doing with Game Pass? Like, will they bring in their Ghost of Tsushima? Like, will Ghost of Tsushima be on their version on their PS Now? Like, like Crackdown 3 is going to be on Game Pass. You think PlayStation is going to try to implement that same thing?
No, I think they'll do something similar, but not exactly. I think they'll do a staggered release. They'll probably do like a 3-month, 4-month, 6-month, whatever staggered release. So, the game releases in March and then it comes to PS Now in December or some shit like that.
Man, you dying over there, 108?
You blowing his nose.
What the hell was that?
Legit. I mean, it's cold out this bitch.
Oh, is it cold out there?
PC, what's going on?
Sound like he blew out of his ass. I was like, what?
Hold on, this is beverage.
But you know why they would have to do that though is because the PlayStation games are single player games. Bro. So, for the most part, there's no reason to, like, say if you bought God of War, like God of War comes out, right? The next one. What is the reason for you to, keep the service of PS Now after you play God of War if that's the only game you want? There's no multiplayer for it.
But the people said the same thing for Game Pass. So too, like I'll just do this for Forza Horizon 4 or just play State of Decay 2, and then I don't have to worry about it no more.
Yeah, but all those games have multiplayer. Like Forza Horizon 4 is a multiplayer game. Like, I mean, yeah, you could play it by yourself, but let's be honest. Like, most people are playing. They don't go in there and turn the shit off unless you're like some kind of crazy advocate. Like, I must play my games by myself. Like, unless you're like that crazy person. Like, no, you're playing Forza Horizon connected to the internet just like everybody else. So, but like with PlayStation, majority of their library is single player. So for them to really make it worthwhile for themselves, I would say it would make sense to stagger it, right? You get the bulk of the money you're going to get from the initial sale of the game, and then 6 months later, you throw it into PlayStation Now and get some extra money.
I would see it would make sense, but I would think it would be more of it would be more like a year. Because people will wait.
They could do that too.
Yeah,
and I would
wait. Hell, I would sit there and get their service, and then like when the next.
But Mega, I'm only saying that about their God of Wars, their Uncharted's, their bigger games. Now, if it comes down to like an indie that they have some kind of exclusive right with, maybe that will go day and date in there. Like maybe when Automata came out, that would go into PlayStation Now. Day one, some shit like that, or when Neo comes out, day one, that'll go into PlayStation Now.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else want to touch on this before we go to the next topic?
Yeah, I do. First of all, Sony can't provide anything like Game Pass because they don't have the infrastructure, and they can't do anything like Project X Cloud because they don't have the infrastructure. If they're hiring right now, that means they're 2 years off. You know what I'm saying? Like. PlayStation Now is terrible. They just got into the point of downloading games, even though they watch Game Pass. And, imitation is the perfect flattery, but they can't do anything like Xbox. They can't even change goddamn PSN ID accounts properly without eliminating half your library.
Bro, they got beta test that. That says
2018. And so I'm not gonna get into the whole PlayStation bashing online situation, but as always. Microsoft is the market leader in ideas because everything you have on PlayStation Network right now, party chat, cross-platform game speaking, that's all Xbox. They started that. Even Nintendo can't get it right. So when in terms of them doing what Microsoft is doing, they are still behind the 8 ball. They have a lot of catching up to do. And the market leaders are going to do what they do. We're going to have the best service again in the next generation on Xbox. Get an Xbox.
It's going to be better.
Yeah, and get a Scarlet. Get your PlayStation, but get that Scarlet. If you want
great segue
online, just do what you do. But that Scarlet going to be for real. The network is
great segue because we got 2 more topics because I'm not going to go away. I'm not closing this show out until we talk about the Halo situation, and that's going to be last.
Let's go.
But what we're going to talk about now is about that Xbox Anaconda. Yeah.
Yes. They named it after Lemon.
No.
Yes. They named it after me.
Yeah. I thought that was a grass snake. Lemon. I thought that was grass.
After you, it would have been garden snake because it's
tiny. Garden snake, grass snake, little weasel.
Yo, Knuckles, that's your first strike. I gave your pass. I ain't bother you all night. But you know what? Okay.
Knuckles being bestie. I love it. Anyway, little garden snake with Lemon. Prometheus. He slithers in the grass in the backyard. Anyway, all right. So there's been a lot of stuff being talked about with this in regards. I was watching a couple of videos. I was listening to some things, read stuff about the specs. I don't think anybody really knows the specs yet. I think when we because there was rumors about the specs about the X, and they were mostly wrong. You know what I'm saying? So the one thing that I will say is that what they saying about the Anaconda is that this bad sumbitch is the real deal. It even goes to the point of saying that it's going to have Ryzen 7 in it, or you know what I'm saying, or something like that. Like I don't even know. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm not even going to go into the spec aspect of it.
Yeah, Ryzen, Navi, GPU, and all that.
Yeah, Navi, all of that. Only thing that I do want to touch on, and if you guys want to talk about the specs, that's fine. But I'm not. But the one thing I want to talk about is not only about that, but then what's more interesting is that Xbox is also going to be bringing something called Lockhart. So when we were all sitting here thinking about like, okay, where's the purpose of the S? Well, the S is pretty much going to be maybe on its way to be phased out because of this diskless thing coming out. That's pretty much probably going to be Lockhart. That's going to be on the same. That's going to be a little bit more powerful than that's going to be on the same par with the Xbox One X, but it's going to be cheap. Like it's going to be like the cheapest of the cheap, and then you're going to have the big one, which is the Anaconda, which is going to blow the doors off of the X. So let me go to our guests, right? So I don't know what you read about it, you know what I'm saying, or dreamed about it or whatever, but give me your thoughts on any of this. What do you believe this? I mean, what do you think that Microsoft's strategy is behind both of these systems, plus Project X Cloud that's also in the works as well?
Well, sorry.
I was confused which one was guess. Go ahead.
I know.
Yeah, well, the Welsh gamer, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
No worries. Well, I mean, wow. Xbox, man. Like, I mean, just look at the Xbox One X, right? Like, Phil Spencer set a whole new precedent on what a powerful console actually is, and he's been on record saying like you know, we will never be outgunned in power again. We'll never let power be an afterthought, because it certainly was when it came to 2013's Xbox Fat. People can say what they like, but it wasn't a priority to them. And you know, Don Matrick at the time, whatever, like, you know, and Xbox is still paying for it now. And I think Phil knows damn well that like that's a mistake that he is certainly not going to make while he's in charge. So when I look at like the strategy, you've got the Maverick, which is a deck of cards sized stream box, which is going to be around $100. And then you've got the Lockhart, which is the S2, for lack of a better term, which is going to be your entry model box, your traditional box. Yes. I'd say it's going to be around $350, $400. And that's going to be, like you said, apparently it's going to surpass the One X. So if you can even imagine, like, it's going to be the cheap entry model that surpasses the One X in just about every way. And then if that doesn't get your head scratching on what the fuck Anaconda's going to be,
bruh,
it blows my mind. I mean, I'm not okay. I don't have the slightest understanding when it comes to specs, so I'm not going to try to talk specs. But all I will say is I have no doubt this machine is going to be an absolute monster. I know already I see people comparing like, PlayStation 5 is going to be this versus Xbox this. And it's like, I'm not going to play that game. PlayStation 5 it might not be more powerful. It's going to be a capable system. But speaking of Anaconda, this console is going to be insane. I picture it being around the $500 mark. They're probably going to sell it at a loss because they're going to be making their money back in dividends anyway, regarding the Play Anywhere scheme, the xCloud scheme, the subscription services, Game Pass. This streaming box at $100 is going to appeal to the casual market. I think that is their strategy. They're going to be selling those like hotcakes to multiple people, and that's going to give them an opportunity to sell the Anaconda at a reasonable price, like the One X was priced. And I think the Anaconda is just going to blow doors off, man. I don't know what I'm gonna let Cyrus take it after me, and I'll let it come right back around to me, because I want to hear what people are thinking. But Anaconda is going to be like, if you just look at the One X and what it is now in comparison to everything else on the market, imagine that like on a much bigger scale. Like,
I can't. That's the thing. That's why I was laughing, because I feel the same way that you do when I'm just hearing just some of these rumors about the specs of the Anaconda, when they're saying like it's going to have the Ryzen 7 and it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, even one of these other I think the Lockhart's going to have some kind of I can't remember what the processor was, but it's going to be custom made.
It's going to be in a customized AMD.
It starts AMD with a P. Yeah, some kind of, it starts with a P. I forgot what it was called, but like, and then like for our boy Other Zinc, he's saying that the Steam box is the stream box is not going to be $100. The rumor was from the beginning that it was going to be anywhere from $100 to $150. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And some people even said from $100 to $200. But from everything that you read is that they said very affordable. So that means that this thing is not going to be expensive at all. It's going to be one of the cheapest things in the market.
Mate, this streaming box is going to be the Xbox brand's equivalent to like the Amazon Fire Stick or the Google dongle.
I would say 150 is going to be its best price point, honestly.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I wouldn't be surprised if it was anywhere between 100 and 150. I'm not gonna say it's 150. I'm not gonna say it's 100, either or definite, but it won't be any more expensive than that.
Yeah, I don't see the stream box, because what they did say about the stream box that it could go up to 1080p on all games, but and in some games it could go to 1440p. So that's going to be pretty.
What's also cool though, Meg, I don't want to cut you off, but that streaming box,
okay,
there has
Knuckles.
been rumors and leaks alluding to the fact that it's not going to be solely relying on your internet connection. So even the average Joe who doesn't have the best internet, a lot of what they're doing with the Azure servers and God knows what else with the xCloud, I don't know the ins and outs. And like I said, I'm not a spec guru by any stretch, but apparently they're not. It's going to be like a 50-50 where they allow you to stream 50% of it like through your internet, and the rest is like harvested, like and it's like bled in, like, you know, in drips, right? So then it's not so taxing on your internet, and you have a much higher resolution and potential frame rate for longer periods when playing your games, opposed to like say PS Now, when it used to like stream games and it'd be like watching a bloody checker set bloody falling over. It's the way they're doing it seems to be very good for like the average Joe as well. So it sounds interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna let Knuckles do his little sign out, but he already bailed out. I guess the little lady friend came through. He had to get them moving, but that's all right, man. All right, everybody go check out Bloody Knuckles and his shows. You know what I'm saying? And you are on his show, OP, are you not?
For Smash?
Yeah, for Smash Podcast, right?
Yeah, I'm on. We should be doing a show tomorrow, but you gotta finalize it.
Okay, got to finalize it. But yeah, everybody go check out the Smash Podcast. Go sub and support our boy Bloody Knuckles. I really wanted to hear what he had to say about the Halo thing, but of course we always go long. It is, but we'll be gone next week too. So I mean, hell, we making up for it. And so we weren't here last week, so yeah, we can go a little bit long tonight. But anyway, so Livewire, what? Give me your thoughts about any of these. And I understand, and I'm listening to other Zinc, and he keeps bringing up the point about that it just does. It's not. There's no way that this stream box is going to be anything less than $300, because it would kill. It would kill the $300 and the $500 console. What do you say about that? And what do you think about the whole Lockhart Project Xbox and also the Anaconda?
I don't think Microsoft really cares whether about which one you get. I think that each one has its own customer. I think that you would look at it as like the different types of Roku boxes that they sell. You know, people buy those shits. Like some people have that shit built into their TV. Some people buy them, separately. But they all, supply a similar function. It's just that, what type of gamer are you? Are you super casual? You want to be able to play games with your friends, but you ain't really trying to shell out a serious amount of money to do that? Then the streaming box more than likely should be more than suffice for that type of individual. But somebody who's like, I gotta see the hairs on on a bug that's flying by, I got to be able to see all that shit. Well, then that person wants the Anaconda version. So, I think that, and then the interesting thing is like, where does the X fall in? I mean, I know it's going to get phased out at some point, but is it going to be kind of the S per se? And then it's almost like they have 3 tiers.
I think they're going to have 4 tiers.
So they're going to say, obviously they're still going to make games will still be able to be played on the S currently,
right?
For people that decide that fucking I'm good where I'm at. I mean, I don't want to switch. And then you got the $150 streaming box, and then you got the X, which is probably going to drop down to I don't know what, 400, 300, 400, whatever it is. 200, 250, who knows what that price point is going to be, because obviously the S is going to drop down as well, and then you have those
will probably be the thing that'll be phased out. because of the
Well, yeah, they probably just stopped making it all together. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the S
they get replaced by the
Xbox Fat. Yeah.
Or Anthem, right? Because that's the other one too, right? The discless box, or is that just a streaming box? I don't know.
I don't see. I think Lockhart is is this new Xbox. It's this new hybrid to the Xbox. Okay. So yeah, I think that's what that is. Because I think that the S we all seen that the S was just not capable when we saw the Digital Foundry of Red Dead and how bad it was lacking between the 4 and the X. It was almost embarrassing. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that it's kind of like, yeah, we'll have a market for that, but we'll also, for people that still want to have a disc. But I think that they'll try to easily push that out for the cloud system and for this Lockhart, and then the X will be somewhere in between, and then also you'll have the Anaconda, which is the premium.
I mean, it might be a happy situation for Xbox, depending on how the tech works, because they might find a way to make not only the device like this wireless, this streaming box, not only cheap for them, but it might also be the best, one of the better versions as far as like, the gameplay wise. Like it might be almost on par with the X, in that realm. I mean, because you already see what Google Stream's doing, so if they can make that streaming box at least 1080p 60 for most of his games, then well, shit.
Okay. All right. What about you, 108? Why you got wind blowing?
Oh, my bad.
That isn't wind, Mega. That's the half a fart I was on about.
That's what that was.
Yeah. You the guest. I don't be getting on you. I be giving you a pass, aka nonchalant bloody knuckle status. Facts. I think with these boxes in general, man, the Anaconda is going to be the beast. I don't know what this Lockhart is. I'll try to do some homework and try.
It is the S. It's the S2. It's going to be the S2.
But you know what? If it is that, then I believe that it'll have the CPU architecture of Anaconda. It just won't have the GPU, because it definitely should be better than the base model Xbox One X. It should be like the medium range. But this is a good situation because now it eliminates us buying a console and buying a console 3-4 years after. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is good for Microsoft to bring out the different range of systems, because it's like what they do with graphic cards. If they bring out the 1080 Ti, everybody can't pay for that. But for $400, a lot of people can reach that 1070 mark. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. The direction they're going, I think it's a positive note. It brings everybody in. You know what I'm saying? It definitely, like, if PlayStation's going with the PlayStation 5 and they get bested at launch, they're going to be looking to do the revamp again. Whereas Microsoft is covering from day one. You want the best of the best? Cop this. You can't afford this, but this is what you want? Cop this. If you want to stream, cop this. You know what I'm saying? It's a good look.
Matter of fact,
options is always good.
I'm reading this right here, and this is very interesting. Okay, so the Anaconda and the Lockhart. Okay, the Anaconda is going to have an SSD drive instead of the conventional hard drive.
Rumored.
No, this is the only thing that they said in this article that is known. Everything else is just speculation.
Okay,
that is going to have an SSD drive. Okay, so also it's saying that on the other hand, Lockhart S2 is expected to replace the Xbox One S and will feature similar hardware as the current Xbox One X with refinements under the hood.
Right.
So yes, okay. So but then hold on, check this out. So this is what and so then the discless Xbox One that's supposed to be coming out this year or 2019. I'm already look at it. It says this is going to be powered by the AMD's Pasio APU.
Yeah. Picasso.
Pasio, whatever. Let me be country. It's late. I got to go to work in the morning. Anyway, it says I've been drinking a little bit of that Crown Black. So anyway, and so it says the leverages between Microsoft's Project Cloud and the Project Brainwave will release as early as January 2019, possibly during CES. AMD will also be unveiling their next generation Ryzen CPUs and their Zen architectures. Okay, so and then on top of all of this is that there also is going to introduce Game Core, which is where they're going to be bringing all of this stuff together, like Microsoft has been trying.
UWP.
Yes,
right.
Yes, and that all and then finally with this infrastructure, they can have it to where I guess all the games from the 360 and the Xbox, from the OG Xbox and from PC, can all be on. It could be on these consoles.
Now, well, Picasso is dedicated with AMD.
My mind is blowing.
Right. The Picasso is dedicated to help with streaming. It's built on making streaming basically a no-brainer, life easy for you, low latency.
Okay, so this diskless Xbox is going to be the xCloud pretty much. Right. So yeah, so they're, and plus you're going to have the S that's still going to be lingering somewhere really cheap. We're talking about probably the $99 range.
But I have a question for everybody.
Yeah.
Now for the panel, do you think with Game Pass at $10, do they add an extra $5 or $10 to the whole Project X Cloud to have Game Pass and the Project X Cloud combined for $20, or do they add $5 for $15 a month and make it all happen for you?
That I don't know yet. I don't know.
They can't separate it, K Mega. I don't really believe they can separate
it. They can still separate it. I mean,
with success.
I think so. No, they can still, because people can choose to not, because I still see people that says, even like Don, he's one of the people like, I don't want Game Pass. I'd rather buy my games. Supersonic Station, he's adamant. Noof, they're adamant about like, I don't want to do that.
Hold on.
I personally don't think you're going to be charged extra with xCloud. I think it's going to be an entity in itself.
Right.
It's highly speculated as well that like Xbox is going to have a huge partnership with the likes of Samsung, which they already have a good relationship with.
Right.
And you might find that like Samsung will do things where like promotion deals where they might have an app built into the TV on the smart features, which is the Xbox xCloud app. And all you have to do is sign into your account and then your Game Pass account, and then you're playing Xbox games without having a box at all.
Okay, well, so what you're telling me is you think, which would be fantastic, I already do everything digital because I game share. So you're saying I'm part of Xbox Game Pass. They're just gonna add that service to Game Pass if you buy it digitally?
Yeah.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Xcloud isn't so much a service as it is just another option.
That would be dope.
It's
that
just
would
like
be dope.
the ability to game on the move.
Yeah, it's not going to be. See, that's the thing where another Zink is going crazy saying these are all rumors. This is not true. Listen, Zink, you know what I'm saying? You my boy and all, and you know what I'm saying? Cool. But I have to disagree with you 100% on this about that these are all rumors. We've been hearing, Phil Spencer and these guys from Xbox has been hinting to all different types of things that they've been wanting to do ever since from the very beginning of the original Xbox One to be released.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that, Mega. People are only really catching wind now because it's coming into full effect, but this shit has been talked about for years.
Yes.
Remember, they did a big video at E3. xCloud is real. That's not no rumor.
No. Well, no, he's
talking on your tablet, cell phone, PC, Xbox, portable
possibly
devices, TVs. That's not a rumor. They showed videos. They showed people. They showed the Xbox controller with a piece that hooks onto it that will connect your smartphone, that will connect your tablet. That's not rumors. The point is, how are they going to implement it? We don't know. That's the point.
And this stream box as well is a conduit for xCloud. So say, for example, you're a gamer on the move and you're a businessman, you travel a lot and you go from hotel to hotel. You know, most hotel rooms don't even have like a smart TV. So you take this, like I said earlier, it's like the equivalent of like the Amazon Fire Stick dongle. You just take this with you, you plug it into the side of your TV, connect it to the like hotel's Wi-Fi, boom, you're there, you're ready to go. xCloud at your fingertips. It's amazing what they're doing. And again, and I digress, like, and I'm with you again, Mega. Like people are only catching wind, and they've been not having to go at other Zink or anyone else in the chat. It's not your fault. we're just weird. We like to keep on top of this shit on a daily.
Right. I've been one of the people that have been pushing this type of shit. Been pushing it. Like this this is what we're talking about. Like, look, you know what I'm saying? I got much love for my boy Crap, but Crap could care less about the cloud because his internet connection is nowhere near as good as maybe somebody that's not in rural area. Like this is why I disagree with what other Zinc is saying, that it would defeat the whole purpose, and everybody would just flock to this cloud machine because it's so cheap. It's because of the fact that not everybody's internet is going to be capable to handle that. Like in my state, my state is not, you know what I'm saying, is far behind in the sense of fiber wire when you got a bigger state like Atlanta, California, New York, stuff like that. So Chicago, stuff like that. So we are starting to have fiber wire, but it's in only certain areas in the metropolitan. Now, I'm in the metropolitan area of Oklahoma, but the fact of it is, like in the rural areas, they probably won't see that shit for the next 5 to 10 years, maybe. So they're not going. If they're going to buy an Xbox, they're not going to buy that cloud machine. They're going to buy. They're going to buy the Xbox.
Their demographic.
Their demographic, and that's all over this country.
But that's about options.
And this individual, like, even if you have a very, very capable internet connection, I've got a very good internet connection. I could get that streaming box tomorrow, but fuck that. I want the Anaconda.
Right.
That's the one I'm gunning for. I'm a hardcore gamer. This is my passion. I want the best option available.
Right, and that's the whole thing. As long as it's the option, it's the whole option thing. That's why I don't think. Look, there's going to be people that's going to say, like, okay, like our boy Flip Lemon. We'll sit there and Flip will be like, I'm good, Joan. I don't care about getting the X right now. I mean, he kind of don't want to say it, but he might as well say it. Like, look, the X is too high. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I ain't spending no $500 for no console. I can spend that money on something else. So I'm cool with my S. But so that's okay.
He still plays with us. It doesn't matter.
And he still plays the game with us. But I think while they're doing the S2 is because they want to make sure that this console is going to be a lot more effective. The S, it is not going to. Trust me, I have the S. I have the Fat, and I got the 1X. I know the difference. I have seen it and I have felt it.
Yep.
There is no comparison to what the S does, or even to the Fat is good for what it can do, but the S is a little bit better. But when you play the X, I don't even want to fuck with the S or the Fat no more. Don't want to. It's not. It's like, no, I don't even like to really touch my PlayStation Slim because I'm like, the graphics look ashy as hell on there. I just probably might wait till the PlayStation 5 before I go ham on the PlayStation again. The fact of it is that for me, I want the best of the best. And I'm going to say this right here. I'm calling it right now. This damn behemoth Anaconda is going to be $600. This is going to be $600. I think it's going to be $600.
I think they know the
magic number is 5, but I think that this thing is going to be 6. I think this is going to be 6 because they're going to have so many options.
I'm 6 in. I'm 6 shots in.
I'll be in on
it because you got a premium.
But I'll be honest, Mega. Like I pretty much haven't disagreed with you yet, but I think the sweet spot is 5.
No, the sweet spot.
No, he said the sweet spot is 5. He thinks it's going to be 6.
I just think it's going to be 6 just by the way that they're saying this. If they come out because I get what Zink is saying. This is still all rumor and everything, but this is starting to be. But we've heard this vision from Microsoft. If you've just been paying attention to what these people have been saying, and this is like, whoa, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're really pushing this to make sure that everybody has an option for what they want. And if you want the best of the best. And we know that the PlayStation 5 is not going to be any punk. It's going to be a powerful machine. Right. It's going to be a beast. So this thing, and the PlayStation 5 is going to be $500. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. So anyone who claims the PlayStation 5 isn't going to be capable are just idiots. Like, the PlayStation 5 is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and I believe Xbox is going to be more than prepared.
If
They are
Xbox go
more than
ahead,
big because their bank is bigger.
if Xbox brings a 500, look, Jazzy Noop is even saying, "Nah, man, it's gonna be 500." Listen, people, this you hear this from me. If this machine is $500 and it's going to be this impactful from the stuff that I've been listening to, like I said, I'm not going to go into all the specs and stuff that I heard from listening to D-Batch and listening to Colt and Dealer and everybody else that's been talking, that's like tech heads like that. I'm not, bruh. This, you know what I'm saying? PlayStation is just a motherfucking trouble next generation, bruh. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us 2 all you want to. You got a machine that's going to be pushing bigger and harder than what the PlayStation 5 is going to be, and you're going to have Halo to be your jump off game? Halo? What?
And I'm gonna say this. Xbox One X came out
Game
after.
Pass behind it.
Power
Backwards
means everything.
compatibility already set in form, plus the fact that you can play PC games as well.
Let me tell you, power means everything. And people even for bragging rights, they want to own a system that say, "Yeah, I got the best system." Let me tell you, the Xbox One X came out last year November. It outsold the PlayStation 4 Pro by December. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. And then had another back-to-back astronomical year in 2018 at that $500 mark.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That made people want the best.
I'm sorry, Goblin.
I got the best.
I just went into my just that because I'm bewildered about how powerful this thing is supposed to be. Like, I mean, I'm listening to reading some of the specs about the PlayStation 5 with the Navi and everything, what it's going to be, and then with the situation with this coming with this handheld and all this. It sounds very impressive. Then they also will be implementing backwards compatibility. This is going to be a badass system. I can't wait for the PS5. But this Xbox Anaconda sounds like bruh. This is going to be to where if they can get this right with the PC game situation, plus you got keyboard and mouse capability, all of this, and they can get the right amount of PC games. Do you know how many PC gamers that has a low-end PC like I do compared to, somebody that has a true rig that might say, man, I might have to go ahead and cop this. If I can play some of my
Don't
PC
say somebody.
games,
You can say me, K-Mag. It's okay.
Shut up anyway. and so they come and they give, look, if they play their cards right and they get the right PC games to do this changes the whole game.
Right.
The whole game. I'm telling you.
Xbox is in a unique position because with there being, with Windows 10 and the fact they are a software company and this whole keyboard and mouse situation, and I'm telling you now, like it's going to work both ways. Like we've seen games go from Xbox to PC. It's just a waiting game for it to come the other way.
Yeah, see that's the thing. Like, what I'm saying, Storm 25 over here saying like, they're thinking that this is just, this isn't a real thing. This is just talk. Phil Spencer has said this from the very beginning. He took the top spot. We were embarrassed. We will never be behind in power again. The media, the gamers, everyone that was a part of anything that had anything that could publicize about the Xbox and about power this generation, except until the X came, it was a laughing stock. Even when it was unnecessary and the whole resolution gate was stupid, but when it came to when PlayStation actually was outperforming the Xbox One and doing it, that was an embarrassment to them. When you're talking about a company that is not in the same atmosphere, stratosphere when it comes to money and power and things of that nature, outdoing it like this, You don't those, you know what I'm saying? They were salty and they made it clear that they're not going to play around, man. They're not going to play around. So
no,
I don't know.
it's for sure. The embarrassment, the only analogy I can think of is like a stockbroker coming out of the building about to get into his Ferrari, and he looks to his right, and the hobo that's been living outside the building for 5 years has got a nicer suit than he does.
Right.
All I'm gonna say is, anybody want to talk about the power game? Just recognize, if Apple can buy Sony, so can Microsoft.
Yeah, and so also, yeah, that's true. And also, Jazzy Noob said something that was really I think that they'll both have some form of ray tracing on both consoles, which will be insane. Like I think that PlayStation is making their big balls to the wall again. Like this whole Apple acquirement of Sony and things like that. I mean, that's that. I mean, I know that was last week's big topic or whatever. That can make a lot of sense because you know what I'm saying, because of the fact that Apple and because this was talked about back in the PlayStation 3 era about that Apple should go in and try to investigate but should get Sony because of everything that Sony has, you know, with televisions at that time, phones, things like that, something that Apple could sink their teeth into, especially with the televisions and things like that, and then having their own little console. They've been wanting to get into this market, the gaming market, for a long time. It would make a lot of sense, but who knows? Lots of people keep thinking about the whole Japanese aspect. There's Apple businesses in Japan, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that was one of the stipulations, that they had to have a business in Japan. I mean, well, they had to have residents in Japan. Also, they had to hit a certain point of the market share, things like that. So if it was something that it was absolutely true and Apple really wanted to get them, I think that they would have no problem of acquiring Sony. I really do. So, but that would definitely change the game for everything. I mean, Nintendo would really have to start pulling out some cash because shit, Xbox is going to have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because Apple ain't going to be playing around. They're going to want to cut throats. And then if you still got Amazon doing what they're doing, whew, you talk about gaming is going to a whole nother level, Jack. But anyway, let's get to the last topic so we can get out of here. I got to take my ass to work in the morning. All right, so, and of course we going extra long, but I already kind of knew what we were. Bonnie Ross, Miss Bonnie Ross, she won an award. Congratulations on her award. If you don't know who Bonnie Ross is, she's the head of 343. She's one of the heads of 343, or she is the head of 343, one or the other. And she was making some comments talking about in regards to Halo. And in Halo, of course, you know what I'm saying, it's Halo 5, #SaveLock. You know how I am about that game, about that character, all that stuff. She made some comments in regards to Halo. And I don't have it on me right now, word for word, but I'll break it down to you just like this because it resonates in my mind like brimstone. She made this point saying that, look, we have listened to the community. We've heard the concerns. We've made some mistakes, but we also feel along the way that we have done our best to make a really good game. I'm proud of the people that at 343 because they're some of the most talented developers out there. But with that said, this is the comment right here. When I think about Halo, when I think about Halo, the biggest character for Halo is the universe.
Thank God.
When she said that, I posted that. I screenshot that. I posted that shit right there on Twitter yesterday. I was like, what? She said, let me repeat it again. And like I said, I don't have the paper on me right now because I'm still gonna make a video about it because I want to get in more detail about it myself. But she said the biggest character in Halo is the universe. And as we're going, and she goes on to like how she appreciates the fans and how they're going to really go out and do the things with Chief and things like that, showing a lot of love to the fans, to the diehard fans and everything like that. They listen to the complaints. They listen to everything. They're changing this. They're changing that. We also know that Master Chief's suit's going to look a lot different. We also know that Chief also has a new voice actor the original voice actor is gone, and that this new Halo is most likely going to be open world. So I'm gonna go to you because I know you've been waiting on this, OP, and then I'm gonna go to Welsh after that. But what did you think about those comments right there? And give it all to me. What do you think about this?
Funny because there's actually more information that you're laying on because she said something. Okay. What's his name? Frank O'Connor, he said a lot on Twitter, and there's a live stream as well that gave more information. But I'm going to take this in a couple of parts. So first off, this means that, for one, the Bungie stands, they lost. Okay, they're not going to let them stagnate in Halo. We're going to move past Master Chief, right? They're finally going to open up the Halo universe and bring in more characters, put more focus on them. I love Master Chief. He started all this. But goddamn it, I'm tired of seeing this motherfucker. Put this man to rest. It's been what 5 games with him at the center of it.
You go get help. You go get help, Mel. You go get
I can't, man. I'm tired of these motherfuckers. I'm tired of these Bungie stands ruining Halo. They only offer stagnation for his IP, but it's time to put Chief to rest. And Bonnie Ross confirmed is they heard the fans, but they're also smart about it. They're moving past Master Chief and will open up. Like imagine Star Wars, right? Imagine seeing Darth Vader every time in every movie, every novel. You know how old that will get. That'll be atrocious, man, to see the same main character take the front stage in each iteration of the story. No, they can't do that. We have to move past Chiefs. I'm glad that they actually acknowledge that. Another thing, Frank O'Connor mentioned on Twitter, what was it? That I think it was co-op or Flash, I can't remember which one, but they mentioned in their live stream that in the build that they're playing, that 4-player split screen co-op is actually functioning in the game as well. So we know that's coming back. The guy working at this point. Also, the customization for the armor. It's more attuned to Reach because pretty much amongst the fan base, the Reach as far as armor customization was pretty the best and most detailed in the entire Halo franchise. So the fact they're actually going back to Reach and implementing this in the game is great news for us because I know some of y'all love the customization of Halo 5, but like Reach, like the amount of detail you can put into the armor, just options that you have, it blows it out of water. If y'all remember playing that game, so right now Halo Infinite is looking like being a good place, but you have to be skeptical of it right now because we don't know too much. But like it's looking like they're making the right steps for it. The only thing to worry about is like how much influence did the Bungie stands have on Halo Infinite? Because of course when we saw Chief's armor, it looked more like Halo 2, Halo 3-ish. Like the art director have it, I believe he's the one working on Halo Wars 2. He does a perfect blend of the old and the new with that. But I'm afraid that they're going to lean a little bit more towards the old than the new. And this is probably one of the issues I have with the community as well, because they have to let the Bungie era go. Like, I love those games. They started all this for us, but we can't be stuck in that. We can't be stuck in that phase forever. Like, it's just like, it's not going to work. Like, it's time to move on, pretty much.
All right.
Okay. Y'all go ahead.
All right. I dig that. I dig it. No, I dig it. I know you've been waiting for it. I know you've been waiting for it. And I'll turn back around and I'll let you get the last word on the way out when we get out of here. But Welsh, what did you think about this comment and about what Operations was saying as well?
Well, the fact that she said the words, the most important character is the universe. I'm personally, as a fan of Halo, I'm glad she said that and acknowledged that, and that is going to be a huge focus because, like, Halo as we know it, like, is an incredible story. And one thing that I don't feel has ever truly been explored is the vastness of the Halo universe. And what I can't wait for with Halo Infinite, especially, is as it is more or less confirmed to be an open world experience. I can't wait to just be able to just divert from the original linear sort of mission to mission sort of. I want to be able to just breathe in everything Halo. And Cyrus said it as well. He said it best. The fact that, like, what she's saying, while I'm going for the more basic of, saying like, the open world, the universe, being able to explore, what she's saying might have some more depth to it in saying that Chief might not be around forever because the Halo universe is massive. Like, there is so much story to tell. I mean, it's one of the best IPs Xbox can possibly have under in their arsenal because they could literally, if they wanted to, pump out a new Halo game every year, and each one could be different from the last, with a whole new story, whole new character, whole new enemy, whole new everything. Because it's massive. It's just as big, if not bigger, than the likes of Star Trek and Star Wars, as Cyrus mentioned, Star Wars. And Star Wars is in the same boat. They could literally
I'll say it's on
make a
par with those
movie.
two IPs because Star Wars that is massive. Like it has
yeah,
far reach than Halo does.
No, you're right. Yeah, fair. But I'll say, well, all I will say in comparison that it's up there with them.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Star Wars, Star Wars being another example. Like in the same way, they could make a movie every year about a different character, a different cast, a whole new enemy, a whole new this, a whole new that, a whole new area of the Star Wars galaxy. Disney could pump out a movie every year and they'd never run out of material. Halo is sitting on the exact same position, and it's nice to know that Bonnie Ross has acknowledged that, because I'm a hardcore Halo fanboy. I love Master Chief and I want to see Master Chief for as long as possible. But end of the day, look at what Coalition has done with Gears of War. Marcus and Delta Squad have taken a back seat, and you've got the new era with JD, Kate, and Dell, and they're coming through. Marcus is still there, but no doubt he's probably going to die or something, and then it's going to be in the future Gears games, this new set of characters, and I just think Halo is going to go that route. I do think Halo 5 was the introduction of Osiris and Locke for a reason. Maybe it didn't bode well with a lot of people, but Locke was a fucking cool character. Osiris was a cool team, and they had I'm just saying that could have been a little seed planted. And on that notion, I just think Bonnie Ross has the right idea. Instead of just sticking to their roots and only their roots, nothing but the roots, they could venture elsewhere in the future. Even if they don't kill off Chief, they could do a Master Chief Halo game once every X amount of years, committed to the original saga and story, but in between have a different game, kind of like what Star Wars is doing. They've got episode 7, 8, and 9 in the works, but in between they've done Rogue One, Solo, and do you know what I mean? The universe is huge. They could literally do anything with this IP, and it's nice to know that they're acknowledging that. And one thing I want to say as well, and I'm totally with you, Cyrus. You said it, and I was just like, yep, can't wait to say it as well. But I am absolutely blown away by the fact that they've gone backwards to the old art style. I think 343's take on the Master Chief and the universe with their unique art, take the new suit, all of that stuff, I think was a great.
It's beautiful, man.
Oh, absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Not to mention, it was a great touch for 343 Industries to put their stamp on the Halo franchise. It was without saying the words. Bungie aren't doing it anymore. We are, and this is how we're doing it with the mechanics, the ground pound, all the different mechanics in the multiplayer. I just hope they stick to their boots and they keep those things intact. And I hope that they might maybe continue with that art style as well, but who knows? As the trailer suggests, it's gone backwards. But I'm with you on that. I do think they've shot themselves in the foot a little with that. But apart from that, everything is signs point to yes. It's going to be a phenomenal game. Infinite, I can't wait to play it. Bonnie Ross is definitely the woman for the job. She's got a good team under her. 343. I've said this for years. People can love or hate them because they're Bungie fanboys. I don't care. I love them. I have more than faith in them. And what she said about the universe just opens up a lot of theories on what could happen in the future.
Absolutely great. Well said. What about you, Livewire? What do you think?
I'm down. I'm down with it.
Okay, are you down with it?
Yeah, like the changes that they're making. I mean, the universe is big. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be so. I always kind of hope they would, they keep the original, and then they kind of branch off and do, different stuff for, other versions of Halo, like have a Halo RPG, third person, and then, and continue the stories with the Halo Wars. So, but I got to see Atriox coming to face Master Chief, man. That's gotta happen. That's gotta happen, man. I gotta see that showdown.
Yeah, that's got to happen. I totally agree with that. I totally agree. What? Oh, you okay? You done?
No, but I'm just saying, like from what I'm hearing about it, man, it sounds like it's going to be epic. I'm just wondering how they're going to like. Are they going to continue on the path of teams and keep like the blue team together? So you still play as Master Chief, but you rocking out with the blue team. So now it's always going to be 4-player co-op moving.
I'm sure because they said that they were doubling down on Chief on this one. So I think that this will be very Chief oriented. So it'll be Chief and blue team.
What would be kind of dope though if they could do this? If they kept both Team Osiris and blue team, but you play through the whole game as blue team, and then you have to go and play through the whole game as Osiris, but you're in 2 different places. So it's like you still go and play, and or like kind of like the whole jumping back and forth thing, but instead of having I guess what was it like how long is Halo? Like about 20 hours, 10 to 20 hours.
I mean, with Halo 3 was to me. Halo 3 was probably the longest one. Halo 5 was Halo 5 was probably about 20 hours. It was about 30 hours playing on Legendary. Oh Lord, jeez.
All right, so say
probably more than that for Legendary.
Yeah, about 35.
So
yeah,
say
35, 40.
On normal, make it about 30 hours. So you do about 15, right? 15 as Chief, and then 15 as Locke and Team Osiris. That would be cool because you could play through the whole game from both perspectives. And then what would be dope is if they had a setup where you could literally play the whole game with like 8 friends, but all y'all are doing like different stuff at the same time. Now that shit would be fire.
Okay, that'd be crazy. They're also going to do the 4-player split screen as well, so they're bringing that back for the stands because that was something that they were complaining about. Which I'm not mad about that. That's cool. They should have put that.
To me, that's cool for like kids. You know what I mean? Like
for
exactly.
and
parents that want to play in the in the same house. They don't feel like playing in a different room, or they don't have that option. So
right. Okay.
Yeah.
What about 108?
I'm gonna say this for the record. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Y'all motherfuckers is bugging. The whole goddamn universe revolve around Master Chief.
This man
they can retire him eventually, but after that Locke situation, you already see what the community want. I ain't trying to see that dude retire and at no time, no soon. Look at a game like Uncharted. Oh, this gonna be the last Nathan Drake saga. How did them chicks work out? It didn't. People want to see Nathan Drake. People want to see Halo. I'm not Dom. What's JD Phoenix Pop's name again? Oh my God.
Marcus.
Marcus may be old, but in Gears of War 4, he was a factor, and people loved his part of the chapter. People loved when he got kidnapped and his son stepped up to the batter's box and saved his father. That brings the drama. Getting rid of Master Chief, the universe is bigger than him. No, it's not. The whole reason we here is for Master Chief. He is the ultimate space gangster. He is the John Gotti of alien type games. Is this not the truth? We all thought, I thought Locke was cool. I was into that story, but people wanted to be Master Chief. Nah, I do not agree.
Mate, you're never going to catch me saying, I want Master Chief to go away. You'll never catch me saying that.
That's what I'm saying. You'll never catch nobody saying that. That's the point.
Operations just said he's ready for Chief to go.
It's time, bro. It's time for him to go.
It is not time.
Okay. If he goes, the universe won't suffer for it. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, it won't, because I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I read about 7 of those novels, and it all revolves around Master Chief. Yeah, there's branch off stories like Solo, as in Star Wars movies. There's the Rogue One. We watched those movies. And yes, I own all that on 4K Blu-ray. But ain't nothing better than the first series in Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, mate, I
you know what I'm saying?
Agree.
Like even in, I'm a big, look at the situation. in Star Wars, right? You got Luke Skywalker. You know how many people was mad that Luke Skywalker in the last movie how he ended? Do you know after Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker destroyed half the Siths in the galaxy? For them to make him a sucker like that was embarrassing.
That's more so on mismanagement of the.
That's not right in the
what I'm
story,
saying.
right?
But listen to what I'm saying. When people know, like I said, I read at least 7 of the novels for the Halo universe. There's many stories in the universe, but Master Chief is like the legend. You just can't get away from that.
Right.
Like Luke Skywalker. You can't get away from the history of Luke Skywalker and then just make him give up and be a sucker hiding on some island.
That Knuckles came back. What the hell is this?
That's what I'm talking about. That's loyalty. But what I'm saying is,
shit.
Look at what I'm saying and look where I'm going with this. You know what I'm saying? I love Master Chief. I mean, there's people that played Halo Wars and was mad he didn't make a guest appearance.
Why? He wasn't in the first one?
No. No. I'm saying just in general, in the whole series. People was mad because
they in the first Halo Wars?
No, he wasn't.
What the hell were they expecting?
But people want, because he is the lead character. That's like making a James Bond movie and James Bond not in it.
Okay.
That's all it is. You can't make a Batman movie without Batman.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my point, and then y'all can just jump in on it because I've been waiting for this. Has been simmering, right? Like I got to get it out right now, right? Okay, check this out, right? I was trying to get this point across on next podcast because we had a little somewhat discussion, not about what Bonnie Ross was talking about because this was brand new, but something that I was trying to break down, but then Dark Optimus kept interrupting me because he wouldn't understand what I'm saying. So hopefully the people will understand what I'm saying on this. God of War, the new one. This is the one thing right here. This is the last trilogy for Kratos. Is it not? Yes or no?
Oh yeah, that motherfucker out the door. They gonna get
out the door, bruh. They made it clear. They didn't beat around the bush. They didn't say shit. They didn't kind of lightly tiptoe it. They made it clear. He's about to be out of there. He's old now. You know what I'm saying? He sit there. He got his son. His son seemed pretty weak. His son, when he by the end of that game, his son is badass. You find out what his real name is, all that cool shit, right? So they're trying to, so what they're doing, which was genius, is slowly take away a beloved character, my favorite PlayStation character, and move on to the next. Now let me finish. Now, what I love what Bonnie Ross said was that she said the biggest character that was bigger, the biggest character is the universe. It's not Master Chief. Yes, Master Chief is the Air Jordan of space shit. Like he's dope. Right? He's the Air Jordan, no doubt about it. But look, who's running shit right now in the NBA? LeBron.
Yeah, because the man retired, but it took a long time.
Okay, Master Chief is old, bro. Just like I didn't read all the books in the comics, but I have read a little. And I do know that John is old as fuck. You know what I'm saying? John is old as fuck. John is not, and you know why and this is just me speculating. You know why that they got a new voice actor? Because they want him to sound, they're doing the same route as what God of War is doing. John has got 4 games left. They're going to make him get to that 10 spot. And then it's a wrap, Jack.
I can agree.
Because
I can go with that.
Okay, because this is the thing right here, right? It's just like with anything else. You said the best trilogy of Star Wars is the first 3. What can you do? You can always go back and you can play those movies and watch that greatness of Luke Skywalker when he was whooping that ass.
Right.
But look at Star Wars. They had to progress. All the old guard is gone. They have to. You can't keep the old guard there. You can't keep the old guard there forever because it takes away from what the young guard can do so you can prevail. Look, the one thing about
you got to do it right.
And that's what they're trying to do. But it's just like with Operation Stand, the Stands is not going to want that to happen. They got, you know what I'm saying? Look, the universe is bigger. You know what I'm saying? Of course you want Atriox to meet up with Master Chief. That's like the ultimate bad against the ultimate good, and let it go down. And I would love to see Master Chief do his final kick-ass beatdown on Atriox, and then let him do his swan song out of there, and let the legend go, and let the legend fade on top, and let Locke, and let some new generation of
move into the spot, right?
Move into the spot,
right?
Just like with Gears,
Team Blue Team.
Yeah,
that's what they tried to do, but it didn't work.
Well, no.
See, that's the thing. They didn't handle it properly.
They didn't handle it right. That was the big problem. No, but hold on. That's the thing. This thing. And I promise I'm going to be quick. I'm going to get done with it. I'm just saying, this is the thing that where Halo 5 failed. Failed the fans. Is that Microsoft wanted, because the Microsoft felt pressure from the heat, from the media and everything else, because of all the bad press about the Xbox One X, and they had to do something to try to get Halo 5 to look something different than what Halo 5 actually was. Halo 5 was on the same link. Halo 5 Guardians Halo Guardians was on the same levels of what Reach and USC was on. You know what I'm saying? The other one, yeah. ODST was. It was its own branch, and what they did is that they're giving you a little taste of Chief because that made it. But they was trying to introduce a whole different era. They could go all over the place. They could do a origin story of Sergeant Johnson. They could do an origin story of Master Chief, because they got to show what this man looks like eventually. They can do an origin story of Master Chief and how he got with Blue Team and all that shit. They can have side stories of everything that they possibly can do. But the universe is got to be bigger than Master Chief. I have been saying that, because if you still keep it the way Bungie had it, then he will be like Mario, and then the saga itself is diluted.
It's tainted.
It's tainted. It's stale. It is like, really? You got motherfuckers now that's saying Mario, man. Mario's been around since my damn dad was playing the game.
Mario is Bill Gates of Nintendo. They can't get away from that. Him and Link. They can't get away from it because of what they developed. So, but you know what? I agree with you, Kim.
Let 343, my last point right here. Let 343 step away out of what you call a shadow, out of Bungie shadow. Let them do it. Let them do it. Now y'all can go. I had to say my point.
So real quick, I want to add to you, Mega, is that you're talking about how old John is. By the time of Halo 5, the dude is pushing 60 years old. Like, he's almost in his 70s.
Yes, he's old.
He's definitely old.
Twitter fingers is on overtime.
Hey! This is not. Hang on. This is not my topic. I'm just getting information to be able to contribute little bits. I was like, I'm not saying damn thing because I know I don't know this.
I appreciate you because I didn't even know that, and I'm a Halo retard. But look,
because
I gotta make a move. So what we doing?
He was born in 2511.
We just let people finish, and then we're gonna get out of here.
All right.
All right, so go ahead. Anybody else want to finish up on this and say what they want to say on what I just alluded to?
The only thing I want to contribute to this conversation is that you're absolutely right about what you were saying about that it has to be more than just one character. You know, we've seen it in a lot of other games. Like you brought up with God of War, they are setting up, Atreus to take over after everything. And if you know the mythos of Norse mythology and what was revealed at the end of the game, you already know what happens with that character. You know what they're going to be setting up with that.
Right.
We see it in Gears of War. Look at what the Coalition has done.
But do you know what the Coalition did it better than 343?
I get that. But what I'm saying is
Phoenix not to be the lead character.
No, I know that, but I'm saying that we're seeing that others are doing that because that's what it should be, is that it's about the universe. Like Marcus and all of Delta Squad had their story between the original trilogy as well as their send-off in 4, while they're showing up. They're not longer the main issue anymore. They don't have to worry about the Locust war. You know, humanity won. They survived. Now they have to do something else, and it's about the new kids. You know, it's about JD.
And also Gears set the tone as well because they killed off Dom.
Exactly.
So that makes it even that makes it a little bit easier. Nobody's dead in Halo. Nobody.
Right.
Jonathan.
You know what
Jonathan. That's it.
I'm
talking about out of the major
people that
people.
he was with.
Johnson died. Well, Johnson was, and then the admiral. The admiral died. Yeah, there was a couple. I'm sorry. Yeah, there was.
You know what they did right in Gears?
What?
They went many years down the road and emphasized that. In Halo 5, they didn't do that. It wasn't a good production of the game.
No, the game was good. The game
was good. But what I'm saying is, the separation in time.
Halo 5 suffers the same fate is Battlefield 5. People saw that trailer people seen that trailer and they had a different assumption of what Battlefield 5 story modes are about.
Okay, Mega, I got a question for you.
Halo 5 had the same problem.
I mean, when you watch that commercial, right?
Didn't you hear what I just said?
No,
I just said that.
No. But what I'm saying is, when you played the game, I'm asking you this question: when you played the game, and you didn't get that interaction between Locke and Master Chief, even though they did fight and Master Chief won the battle, did it look like they was more after each other, or Locke was really going after him more than the game presented?
That's what I'm saying. That's where the whole rumors where I think it was true, where Microsoft was feeling pressured that they had to sell Halo because Xbox was getting so much scrutiny at the beginning of this generation, is that they was like, man, let's just throw something out there and let people get excited just to buy it.
They should have did that. That franchise means too much.
We know that, but the fact of it is that it was a selling pitch to get people to think that Locke was this bounty hunter, coming after Master Chief, and the story didn't come out to be that way. And that's what I'm saying. So it wasn't really so much 343's fault than it was Microsoft or whoever Microsoft's fault for trying to push that shit to make it seem like that.
But look
instead of them making it trying to like be the introduction to a new character and squad and let people get used to them. They went this other route, which now they know that they failed. That's why Bonnie Ross said that they know that they made a lot of mistakes.
Facts. I'm gonna tell you something else that fooled a lot of people and pissed people off. The Avengers trailer. Hulk was all in the movie fighting in Wakanda. Goddamn, Hulk was in the movie 3 minutes. Same situation.
Yeah, Marvel's notorious for altering their ads.
They know that,
right? And it burned Halo for it. Halo 5 was a fantastic game, but if you went into the game watching those commercials, I thought Locke was after Master Chief and going crazy.
Yeah, I know.
And then when I played the game, I said they only fought once, and Master Chief embarrassed that dude and took off.
No, Master Chief didn't embarrass him. Now Locke was whooping his ass.
Locke was whooping shit. He was embarrassed. Yo, you just a Locke fan.
Yeah, no, man, he busted his shield, bro.
Chief
was like, holy shit. And then
he said he's a challenge. He was a challenge.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that wasn't a walk in the park, but Master Chief is king, baby.
But he didn't do shit but put a fucking little thing on him to make him be still. Like Chief outsmarted him. That was cool.
This podcast is over. K Mega has lost his mind.
I ain't lost my mind. I saw the fucking fight, Jack. I sit there and went back
real quick. I got a question from Lemon.
Yeah.
So what's been the face of Star Wars before this new trilogy? Like, what's the one person that you think of?
It's Luke. Star Wars. It's always been Luke since he lost to his father, and his father defeated the Emperor.
It's either Luke or Darth Vader.
His father defeated the Emperor. Luke did not do that. Remember, he never completed his training.
I know that, but I'm saying like the face of Star Wars.
He went. It's always been Luke.
Are you sure it's not Darth Vader?
No, Darth Vader died after that battle.
No, it's been all about
Darth Vader. Was like one of the biggest.
Darth Vader is a fan favorite that they do not want to die. But after Return of the Jedi,
Vader is dead, Jack. He's been dead.
Right, but what I'm saying is the face of if you follow the stories, comic books and the novels, is after that battle where Darth Vader threw the Emperor into the center of that Death Star, right? Luke went back to Yoda, trained, and became like a super Jedi, a gray Jedi. That's what he turned into. And he went on to destroy half the universe's evil dudes.
No, I understand the expanded lore.
And
I'm saying like the marketing.
I need to watch the movies.
Is either Luke or Darth Vader? And where's Darth Vader right now?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Introduced Locke.
He's dead. Darth Vader's dead. That's what I'm saying. If they manage it, if they handle it properly, they can phase Chief out. And this thing just drop off immediately when Halo Infinite starts. You have to do it properly. Like Darth Vader, he's like the second biggest, or the probably biggest IP or the biggest character in Star Wars, and he's nowhere to be found. He's mentioned in the new trilogy, like they show his skull, his helmet, and everything, but he's not around anymore.
Yo,
listen,
the same
thing for Master Chief.
I gotta
just have to handle it properly.
I gotta go get the missus.
Oh yeah, you good, bro? You good?
You good? I'm just saying that's what
I gotta say that out loud because I told you I gotta go. Listen, we ran over time. I love everybody that stopped through. I hope y'all enjoyed the topics. Support everybody here. One Way Dragons TV. I'm excited about my new logo. My big brother K Mega support me. Everybody in this panel need to be supported by everybody in this party chat. I ain't got nothing else to say. PlayStation 1 Classic giveaway next week. Like and subscribe for the chance to win. And I'm out here. Wanna wait. Facts.
Peace. Get your ass out of here. All right, we about to get out of here too. But I just for me, it's like, look, man, Master Chief, he is the GOAT, no doubt about it. But man, like with everything, John Wayne had to die. Clint Eastwood had to die. Motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Bruce Willis has got to die. You know what I'm saying? All these greats, Sylvester Stallone, Captain Kirk had to die. Picard had to die. Like these motherfuckers is Wolverine had to die. Let's get this right, guys. Look.
Oh, you should have brought up when Lone was still here.
Yeah, like this is the thing, man.
I'm literally with everyone who's spoken so far, and I said it as well. Like the universe has to be bigger than just one character, and it goes a long way. It goes. We've used so many examples, like the Star Wars, like Luke and Vader being the forefront, Anakin being a huge driving force, and now you've got like the universe of Star Wars being expanded upon with them in the background. And like you said, Maggie, you can always go back and appreciate what it was. And I mean, and then look at Marvel, the MCU. Like it's highly, 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 highly likely that Captain America is going to die.
I'm going to cry.
And like the comic books, either Bucky Barnes or Falcon is going to take up the mantle of Captain America.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty sure it's going to be
a natural progression of things, you know. It's like and Chief, I love Chief. If Chief was a real person, I'd happily swing the other way for him. His deep voice gets me going like a motor.
Wow! Hey.
It
might be too early in the morning for you, bro. You want to go ahead and wrap this.
Welsh,
you surpassed Buddy.
Don't you cut the boy off, Welsh. I respect that because everyone has that one aspect. I respect you for that, man.
Hell no!
I keep it real, man. Chief is my boy. I love Chief.
I love Chief, but I
Mega,
I ain't grabbing no meat rocket.
Locke, all right, don't even go there.
Locke.
You love
hey,
Locke.
Man, I'm not gonna love on Locke. Hell, I just want to kick it with the dude. Let's go to a strip club. Let's look at some titties. What's wrong with you?
Sure.
Hey, bro, I'm not trying to get close to Locke. Hey, get your black ass away from me. I just want you on the game, bro.
I can't wait tonight.
At the end of the day, things need to evolve. I mean, we were having this conversation earlier with regards to the Xbox consoles and stuff. Like, if it stayed as just a stagnant box, people would soon be pissed off. You need to accept the fact that it's going elsewhere, going to the cloud, streaming, all these different services. Gaming is progressing. Why can't a franchise like Halo just progress and go outside of the realm of normality?
I mean, didn't they also do that shit recently with Uncharted and now Last of Us? Like Uncharted with Lost Legacy, it focused on the girls and not Nathan Drake, and now in Last of Us 2 it's focusing more on Ellie being the main aspect, not about Joel anymore.
I'm telling you, the Halo community, the more toxic side, are just some of the worst.
You're right. The Halo community is that, and that goes back to what we very first started on the show, is about gamers that, you know what I'm saying, how far do these developers need to listen to the diehards, especially when some of these people are still complaining about how they need to take the multiplayer back to the old school way of how Halo was, and that's atrocious.
Take your
Stop
ass on
it. Stop
MCC.
it.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I
Thank
played
you.
a little
Get
bit
on
of
Master
Halo
Collection
5.
and enjoy it.
Like I've played a little bit of Halo 5 with my roommate. I like the way that the multiplayer feels because it feels like a progression. Like, yeah, I've gone back and played the Halo 1. It feels so clunky. Like, me and you have been playing through the Master Chief Collection, and we still need to finish that, by the way.
Yep.
But, I tell you that it feels so awkward because of how dated
Moon
it
jumps are from
shows.
hell.
It
I'm
shows
saying it right
its
now.
age.
Moon jumps are a
Yes,
scar.
And the Bungie physics still exists even with Destiny, and people don't call them out on that because it's the same goddamn geometry and physics engine that they were
Right.
using back then.
Yes.
It's dated. It shows its age.
It does. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. This is probably the longest GRG ever. All right, let's get the hell out of here. 3 hours. Wow. Well, no, I think we went 3.5 hours one time. That's okay. No, fuck it. I knew that we did go 3.5 hours one time. I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess we love talking about games. Is that it? But yeah, but shit. Damn. All right. Anyway.
We just some damn nerds. That's it.
We just some damn nerds. All right, Welsh Gamer, thank you for staying up. I know it's probably daylight where you're at right now. So the sun is cracking. You probably need some coffee or you probably take your ass back to sleep. But thank you for coming. And, man, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, man, anytime that you want to come back on, man, just let me know, man, if we can have you on for sure. But where can they find you at, bro?
Mega, you're a true gent, man. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. And we've certainly gone out in a bang on the old 2018 front. This has been a phenomenal show. Yeah. Great topics. And
before you go, tell me, because that's one thing I do want to get before you go. What was your favorite game? If you got two, that's fine. But what was your favorite game of 2018?
Do you know what? It's quite simple. It's tied. Like, I love them both equally. Red Dead 2 and State of Decay 2.
Nice.
Those are my two big bangers for this year. And where you can find me, at the Welsh Gamer 93 on Twitter. By all means, follow me. Hit me up on the DMs. Anytime you want to chat, you know where I am. And the Welsh Gamer, 3 words for my YouTube channel. Been a pleasure, K-Mega. Once again, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be on GRG.
Oh, man. I'd love for you being on, man. It was a great experience, man, as always. All right. Operations, man. You just popped in, but, man, glad you came on, gave your expertise. Where can they find you at? And what was your favorite game? You know, if you got another one you want to just throw as a cosign, game of 2018.
Oh, you can of course find me on Smash Podcast or barely on Twitter. I only like retweet shit. I don't do much there. But favorite games for 2018, it has to be State of Decay and Mutant Zero Year. That game stole my heart, bro. Like, that's a sleeper hit for me this year. I was not expecting it.
Mutant Zero. I downloaded it, but I ain't played it yet. Damn.
Yo, it's a good game, bro. It's, like, I like their twist they took on the XCOM series. It's really neat. It was a really neat little game.
Nice.
I want to play it.
Nice. All right. Okay. Live Wire. I'm surprised you're still up. I thought you would be asleep by now. Where can they find you at, bro? And what was your favorite game of 2018? Because you beat a lot of them this year, bro.
Yeah. Red Dead definitely, and damn, you know what? Man, I played a lot of good games this year. I probably. Oh man, I'm trying to think. What the fuck? I mean, probably I'm still playing through God of War, and I'm actually starting to enjoy it. You know what the key is, yo? I can't play that shit late. I gotta play it early in the day because late at night I just be passing out trying to play that shit. I don't know what it is with me playing God of War like around this time. I'm always falling asleep. But if I
it's the same way I was playing through it. But yeah, go ahead.
But if I play it around like 7 or 8 in the evening, then I'm actually cool and I can ride it out. But yeah, probably God of War, Forza, and between God of War and Forza is my number 2. Yeah, so but definitely Red Dead. Red Dead is shit. I got Far Cry 5, but I haven't played it yet, so I can't really say how I feel about it until I at least get a couple hours into that.
All right, okay, all right, cool. And then Bloody Knuckles. Let me know what was your favorite game of 2018, and again, where can they find you for the third time?
Well, they can find me on my channel, youtube.com/Bloody Knuckles. The O's is 0, the E's are 3, and of course it ends in a Z. They can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Mixer streaming whatever crazy stuff that I'm streaming. Always supporting the Japanese content. And my favorite games for 2018,
Daddy
I
Simulator.
still stand by it. Monster Hunter World is still probably one of my top favorites. And then, of course, Red Dead right with that.
Okay. All right, cool. And then last but not least, you know what? I don't know why I keep doing this stuff, especially when I know I got to go to work in the morning. But regardless of it, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we ain't going to have no GRG next week, but we'll be back going hard in the paint starting 2019 with more guests, more, you know what I'm saying? More fun stuff, man. And then hopefully we'll get the new old look back of what GRG was when we first started, but just with a whole new vibe with it here in the next couple of months. Hopefully by at least by the end of January, man. Because I just need to get everything ready to go, and then we'll be back to going. Also, for our Patreon fans, man, I have not forgot about you. We'll be going hard in the paint. There are so many games in 2019, so we'll definitely be going ahead and be making up for lost time and giving out away free games and shit like that, like we have been doing. So anyway, appreciate you guys staying up this late with us, man. This is crazy. A long 3 and some hour damn podcast.
We just went over 3 hours right now.
All right, 3 hour podcast. That's amazing. But thank you guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's even too late for me to even say anything about the pants off dance. I'll take my ass to bed. Anyway, thank you guys for rocking out. Thank you guys for
in that bed.
Go straight, take it, hit that straight to bed.
I'm going in there. I'm going to slap that ass and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. That's it. Anyway, thank you guys for rocking out with us, man. As always, we will be back.
One last thing.
In 2019. What up?
Yeah. To all the people, whatever you do next week, whether you're celebrating have Christmas or New Year's, whatever you're doing with your family, just make sure y'all stay safe. Y'all have fun with your family and just be careful. Everyone, make sure that you just enjoy your time with your family. It's the best time of the year, but make sure you're also staying safe. That's all I want to say. All love to you.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. It's all good, man. I mean, it's all love for everybody, man. But anyway, I'm going to say it anyway. If you ain't out there gaming tonight and you ain't got to go to work in the morning and play the game or go to work, so you need to go to bed, then you better have your ass in there doing the pants off, dance off. As for me, I got to go to work in the morning. I'll go to bed. Good night, everybody. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.